Hi guys. We're back. We have a face off between the spoiler and the spreadsheet. We'll see how things go. Welcome to episode 25 of the SixPackPodcast.
No.
I am here with Shannon and Kenneth and Jazzy. Shannon.
Yeah.
Any housekeeping before we get rolling?
I don't think so.
All right.
I never can think of any,
Excellent.
housekeeping.
Welcome back, Kenneth. You've been, I don't know, half a dozen episodes since you've been on?
It was the episode before Paul. So it's, yeah. Been a little bit, but not too long.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, Jazzy. I hope you're feeling better.
Much better. Glad to be here.
Excellent. Tell us about the duvet cover.
The duvet cover. This was a Christmas present from a friend. It's so lovely. It's so cozy. Let me...
Oh, you got pillows as well.
Matching
Ooh.
pillows.
Ooh.
There's like a crane, I think. If I'm wrong, comment below. It's absolutely lovely.
Do you know, the vibes I'm getting from that is if you go to like somewhere in Southeast Asia that's like a higher quality hotel, and I feel like they'd have a spread like that.
You redeemed it with
Like
higher
really
quality. It's great. I love it, and yeah, that was a Christmas present from a friend.
Not that sort of hotel, Jazzy.
No, it's like the ones from Supernatural, the themed motel rooms that they always stay in. They always have like really fun looking like decor and blankets because they're trying to evoke that like traveling on Route 66 vibe. Like
The immediate thought I had was like the president's suite at some hotel that they would be using in the White Lotus.
Oh, or that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
The Prince's Suite.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes.
Exactly.
The Wild Suite, the Bear God Suite.
Man Bear God. He's real.
Bear God. Ursula's Suite.
Yep. Cool. All right. Episode 24 review.
Here.
Shannon, have you been looking at the comments? Do you have...
I just opened them. It's very easy today. This one's easy. Oh, wait. Oh, because most of them are yours. I was going to say, it says 9, but I only see 3, and then I realized many replies.
Most of them are me replying to people, yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Mark loved Andy just vibing in the background. We were talking about video games and movies. To be fair, he was being attacked by a cat. Like the whole time. Like the cats were up to, just like my dog is clearly up to something. I can hear him. But like the cats were up to no good the entire time. Knocking stuff over, purring in the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were vibing.
They were a menace.
They were
really.
a menace. And Martina knew exactly what I was talking about with Black Sails. Martina is also a Black Sails fan. Thank you, Martina. Like that means so much to me. But yeah, and how she said that she's watched it a bunch of times, which same, thank you. But she's never really paid attention to the music and is going to correct that mistake. And to be fair, that's because I like to use Bear McCreary's music as like background reading music. So I listened to Black Sails like quite a bit. Plus it came out during my Assassin's Creed Black Flag era. So I was listening to a lot of like adjacent music. Great game. And then Kenneth commented.
Oh no.
He's here though, so like I don't know.
I know. I feel like this was the perfect episode to come in for. Really.
Yeah, like he commented and he's here. So I mean, you can talk about what you commented if you remember what you said. If not,
Sure.
I can read it.
Oh, no, I remember. Well, I
Okay,
remember
okay.
my second part was I also said that Black Sails is amazing.
Black Sails is great.
So good. The main
Toby
theme for Black
Stevens.
Sails is goated. Like main theme.
I know.
I didn't know what a hurdy-gurdy
Vibe.
was until that show, and now I'm obsessed with hurdy-gurdies. Like, if I see hurdy-gurdy
Love
content on Instagram, I'm like,
hurdy-gurdies.
yes.
So good. They're so good.
Your feed has been invaded by hurdy-gurdies.
All hurdy-gurdy.
But yeah, so I said my thing was a response because I said what my top 3 games were last episode, or the previous.
And Resident
one.
Evil was not on
in the
top
top
3.
3. No, it was Final Fantasy VIII, Metal Gear Solid, and then Knights of the Old Republic. And my reasoning behind it was, I think it's partially just because my favorite Resident Evil game is Resident Evil 3, but it's literally, if you play it quickly, it's about 40 minutes long. So I feel like it's really hard to have that in my top 3 when you can finish it in like one coffee, basically.
Very short.
But Final Fantasy VIII, I go on about it all the time, so we don't have to talk about that again. Metal Gear Solid, I think, was the first game I played where I was like, video games are like movies. I was like, this is basically Die Hard or like other action movies from like the 90s and 80s. It was just like, it just impressed me with. And then Kojima,
right?
Yeah, and then Kojima went a bit too far and literally made every game just a film. But
yeah, but it's the peak Kojima thing though, right? It's just like stuff just doesn't make sense, and that's the point, is it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right.
I just love it so much. And then Knights of the Old Republic. When I played that for the first time as like a teenager, because I played it on the Xbox, and that it's like they blended the 2 biggest things for me is Star Wars and RPGs, and it's just always left an impact on me. I've said like, if like Knights of the Old Republic specifically comes out on one console, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, or PC or whatever, I would buy that thing specifically for the new. And there has been a new Knights of the Old Republic announced, which is great.
I was going to ask you, how did you respond to that review?
I screamed at my TV.
That was probably my favourite moment of the Game Awards.
Well, especially because they were. Oh God, who was it now? I don't think it was Kepler, but somebody was doing a remake of the original game, and then that's kind of died. Like, they say it's still being worked on, but we haven't heard anything for years now, unfortunately. So
hopefully
I have a feeling that's not
Ubisoft.
happening. Yeah. So yeah, the idea that they are actually making a new one, and it was with crumbs. I've forgotten the gentleman's name. Yeah, who worked on like Jedi Outcast and like so many other games. Like, I just feel like it has the recipe to be amazing.
The studio that's doing the new game is basically old BioWare.
Yeah, which is
all the previous leadership and a lot of the senior people. Yeah, it's basically old BioWare. Yeah.
So that's the reason. But Resident Evil 3 would be my number 4. But again, I just felt like it's too short to put in my top 3 because it can be finished very quickly.
It's very short.
I won't go into a rant about it, but there's a reason why I don't like Resident Evil 3 Remake is because it's somehow they made a short game even shorter, which I didn't know was possible.
But I love Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos is Bay.
Almost exactly like a demo, Jazzy. All right. Cool. Excellent. Let us switch gears to news. I will bring up the lovely post for January. Got it here. I think we got just... Whoa! Jump scared by Ben again.
It's like Dead Take all over again.
Yep. BTS, Ellie's Diary to finish up the month, and DM us, of course.
Behind the DM screens was switched around.
Or was it moved to February?
No, so that's coming out on Thursday. We had Ellie's Diary, which covered episodes 45 and 46. That's already out. It's really good as well. Recommend it. But yeah, so Behind the DM screen is now coming out on the 29th.
Excellent. Jazzy's been paying closer attention to the latest news than I have, clearly.
I'm so behind on the Patreon content that I don't see a point in me like following the calendar because it's like I'm gonna like finally get
You'll
to
watch
it in
it
like
when you
6
watch it,
months.
right?
Yeah, I'm so behind.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves a good BTS, so
Yeah.
Except C and D. Poor C and D.
poor guys. Yeah. So we got a few more days left here in January, of course, and then episode 47 to kick off the short month of February. Anything else news-wise, guys? We got some cast news just out in the last 24 hours or so, which we'll talk about in a second, but
I think I guess the only other thing is, as with this month, there's a lot of redacted coming up.
Oh, yes.
That the cast has been saying that's the reason why they're so far ahead is there's a lot of redacted, and redacted.
Mhm.
But obviously we can't talk about it because we don't know what any of it is.
Yeah, we don't know. I will say it was really funny to go on Discord yesterday and see the entire cast online minus Alex. I was like, what does that mean? Like, and it wasn't like, you know, sometimes Ben pops up and he has the little like idol. No, they were all online. And I was like, oh, brother, what's this about?
they were probably filming the AMA for February.
Yeah, probably, yeah, because they use Discord. It was just really funny because I was like, which reminds me, I forgot to send my question. Next time.
You have time.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
Tickets for MCM, maybe just in general, tickets for MCM in May went on sale. A few of us have got some already, apparently. So, all guns a-blazing.
Yeah, I think the weekend tickets are already 50% sold out. And apparently the VIP tickets are all sold out, which is insane. I genuinely don't know who buys those.
Well,
Scalpers.
There's only 10 scalpers. There's only like 10 VIP tickets that are sold. I've never actually seen anybody with one.
Oh, with like the badge
Like,
for it, yeah.
I'm sure that these VIPs do exist. I've just never seen one.
Maybe the green room's nicer than we think it is, and they're just all sat in there all day.
just hanging out all day.
Champagne and caviar.
Yeah.
Is it just Jeff Keighley?
Yeah, I bet it's just Jeff Keighley and
Jeff's just
Hideo
there.
Kojima.
And mannequins of Kojima.
Yeah.
If Harry could be in a green room with Kojima, he would 100% pay, what was it, 200 quid or whatever it is for those tickets.
Yeah.
Let's have a sit down with him.
That's true. I think they'd have a good chat, the two of them. They're on the same kind of wavelength.
Well, I've said this before. I think Harry's the English version of Kojima. Like when he gets into his zone and just comes out with theories and stuff. I'm just like, Harry's just like, he's a visionary. He sees stuff we don't.
he sure is.
Yes, Harry is. He can see behind the veil, shall we say?
Right.
Did have a
we love him
cookie
for it.
today, actually.
What's that, Jazzy? Sorry?
I had a cookie today.
Oh, in honor.
You did?
Yeah.
What
It was
kind
made
of
for me.
cookie?
It was an oat and raisin cookie, which sounds very healthy.
Oh,
but
very
it's packed
healthy,
full
yeah.
of butter.
Oh.
I mean, I love oatmeal raisin cookies.
Yeah, just so good. But yeah, I always think of Harry now. And his
Yeah,
odd
that's fair.
numbers.
That's so fair.
What did we think of the DrKagon Part 2?
I still haven't seen it yet.
No?
I still haven't seen either.
Yeah, I've seen the Christmas special,
Yes.
but I have seen like 90% of the first episode, but I haven't had a chance to finish it, so then I haven't had a chance to watch the second one yet. But I've really enjoyed what I've seen so far.
Yeah, the mechanics seem really good for this group. I know there was a discussion on the cantrip there about maybe the crew testing out some different systems, which is should be kind of cool.
I found that interesting because Holly seemed very keen to do Cyberpunk. I am so keen for them to do Cyberpunk. I've not played Cyberpunk, but I've watched Cyberpunk. I've seen Mike Pondsmith referee Cyberpunk Red. I would love to see. I know Harry doesn't want to do that setting, but they don't have to have all of them doing it. I think it would be wonderful to see Alex and Holly do it. Maybe Holly could bring in some of her old PS Access buddies and do, maybe Rob Pearson, who could bring his character in, because I think his character's in the is part of the canon as well. I think they could do something really exciting with that system. I'm trying to think what other systems. Did they talk about any other systems in Cantrip? I'm trying to remember now. Cyberpunk stuck in my head.
Daggerheart was one.
Yeah.
Daggerheart was discussed.
They didn't bring up Blades, which I was surprised by. Trying to think what else they mentioned.
I can't remember either. I don't.
I think Cyberpunk and Daggerheart were the big two, though. That were they were the most excited about.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk would just be wonderful.
Yes. All right. Let's get into some cast news then. Hot off the press. Emberville announcement went live, and our good friends Elcock Good and Troy Baker, aka Alex Jordan, are going to be part of the voice cast, which is very cool. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Diablo meets Stardew. I mean, that's exciting. That's
It's
an exciting combination.
It is an exciting combination.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't need to see McDonald's advertising. Apparently, you can tell what I'm searching for. McDonald's socks,
Chicky Nugs.
chicken nuggets. Yeah,
We're seeing your cookies.
exactly. And I think there were watches before. I don't know why there were watches.
I do run into that issue all the time if I try and use music that's on YouTube rather than Spotify, because I know for a fact it'll start with an ad, so I have to always mute it straight away. Otherwise you have, would you like a washing machine? I'm like, no, I'm good, thank you.
Yep.
You don't wash your clothes.
No, I just throw it into the sea and then hope for the best.
Right.
So that's exciting. See our lovely cast in some new games. When I think Solasta 2 early access is a couple of months away.
I saw that really silly video where Ben and Devora showed us absolutely nothing.
Oh yeah, so that.
I don't know if
really
you,
good.
I don't know if you saw that, but that was really funny.
Let's just check the early access. So 12th of March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 12th of March. Let's just bring this up. So our good friend Benjamin.
Benjamin, friend of the show. Just kidding. Friend of the people on the show, I guess. Maybe. Enemy, maybe.
I was going to
Enemy
say
of the
it.
show, yes.
Could be frenemy.
So
Yeah.
yeah, go early access on the 12th of March. So,
Yeah. I mean, not cast news, but they
didn't
revealed more
Greedfall
Resident Evil 9. So
get a release date too, Kath?
Ooh,
Yeah, Greedfall 2 is
yeah.
coming out in March as well, so it's going to be an incredibly busy month. I
Greedfall
can't remember the specific
2.
date.
Let's
Lots of gaming.
have a wee look, shall we? Oh, apparently I need to age check. Let's just do some random first
I'm
of
not looking.
January. I am apparently 100 years old.
yeah.
Same
You
with
look
that
really
1926.
good for it, Doc.
So
Using my new
does it
moisturizer.
say? Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, 12th
You're
of
looking
March.
very good as well, Jesse.
12th of March as well.
Oh
I'm only
wow.
80.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a rough week.
For RPGs, yeah.
Mm.
So
I mean, I'll still be working my way through Resident Evil 9, so I'm a
God,
big
yeah, I know.
baby.
yep.
And I'll be staring
So
at Leon the whole time. Just kidding.
Mr. McIntyre in Greedfall 2, Ben in Solasta 2, and Alex and Doug in Emerville this summer, which is very cool. Have you pre-ordered Greedfall, Kenneth, or are you gonna wait for?
Not yet. I keep
reviews?
it keeps coming on. I think I'm gonna get it regardless. I'm
Yep.
just waiting to see like how the patch notes go along to see kind of the changes they're making. Because
Got it.
I don't want to buy it straight away if it's gonna be a bit of a garbled mess.
Yeah,
Which I don't think it will be, but
to just wait for
yeah.
a month or whatever, right?
Because I don't want to like play it immediately and then get like a bad impression of it if it's a bit like janky at the start.
100%.
That has hurt a lot of games like Cyberpunk and like No Man's Sky and stuff.
Yeah, I remember the first one being kind of janky because I think I played it on release. Did you play Greedfall 1 on release?
Yeah, but I played it on PlayStation, so I don't know how the build was compared to the PC version. But there was a bit of junk in there, but I feel like that was lovable junk, where it's just like like NPCs will just break all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Ragdolls doing obnoxious things, etc. Yep. All right. Any other news we can think of?
Ooh.
Not
Not especially.
No.
Not for cast stuff anyway.
No.
Yeah. All right. Then doing lately. Shannon,
Yeah.
tell us what you've been up to.
Well, I've been playing Endwalker, Shanwalker, and things got pretty crazy in my playthrough yesterday. Pretty dark. I am in Garlemald. Like, it's... I want to say a phrase that I'm technically not allowed to say, but I'm sure, like, if you guys know me well enough, you can probably see what I'm going to say. But it was crazy. The Garleans are a different breed. I'm about to play this one mission that everybody talks about, so I'm really excited. I paused because I thought my friend wanted to watch it, but she said she probably can't even game till the weekend, so I might have to just do it. But I've been having a lot of fun. The story's really good, really interesting. And my man Thancred is doing all kinds of cool stuff, and I do love Thancred, so that's really fun. And it was really fun playing it over the weekend when I was snowed in, because Garlemald is very cold and snowy, and so it felt right. They were like, "Oh, make sure you bundle up. It's dangerously cold there," and I was like, "Yeah, you're telling me." Because I think I did that part literally the day it was snowing. So yeah, that's been fun. I'm still pretty early on. I'm still like in the first like chunk of level, like 81 to 82 level quests. So still early on, but we are Shan walking. We are trucking. Because I would like to be current at some point in my life. My friend and I started Oscar Watch, which we do every year. We watch all the Best Picture films. We already watched Sinners, so we didn't have to worry about Sinners. We watched that a while back, and then we started with One Battle After Another, which is really good, and then we watched Train Dreams the other day, which I'd never heard of, and then it was so good that me and my friend sat there in absolute silence for 30 seconds after the movie. And then when we both finally spoke, we both realized we had been crying for that entire 30 seconds. It's really good. Train Dreams, it's on Netflix, so that's really great. It's not terribly long either. We watched Frankenstein, which was very good, but my goodness, I think it's a victim of the now revealed Netflix dialogue mandate. because they really ham-fist those themes into the dialogue in the last half hour of that movie. Like it was kind of shocking. I was surprised. Like it's still really good. I really enjoyed it. It's beautiful, but I was surprised the dialogue was so like we're going to put the themes in the dialogue and it's going to be so obvious, and it's like you don't have to do that. Everybody knows Frankenstein. So I didn't want to believe that Guillermo del Toro would write that way, especially because the first chunk of the movie is not that ham-fisted. So I'm hoping that's the now revealed Netflix mandate of everyone has to say what they're doing and what they're feeling, because people are on their phones while they watch a movie, and like maybe Netflix shouldn't be making Oscar movies if that's the case. Then I think we're doing Sentimental Value tonight. I think. I feel like we watched another one that I'm just not remembering which one it is. I bet if I pulled up my letterbox, but it's right there. But it's been fun. I really like Oscar Watch. I like seeing what like movies are, going on. I like to see where like what the Academy wants to reward and whatnot, and I like seeing new movies based on like things I hadn't seen. Like I wouldn't have watched Train Dreams. I wouldn't have known it existed. So I'm really glad that I got to check that out. That was fun. What else? I've been watching De Pit. Watch De Pit. It's great. I don't know where you guys can watch it. Me, it's HBO.
We can't at the minute, I don't think.
Damn. It's a great show. It's
Unless
great.
you're on the high seas.
Well, yeah. I unfortunately have HBO. It's mine now. They finally kicked me off Dad's HBO. So yeah, I've been watching De Pit. We watched 2 episodes yesterday to get caught back up, so we're back caught up. I think there's a new episode tomorrow or Thursday, something like that. I made a bangin' breakfast sandwich. I just wanted to talk about it. It's great. It was really good. It was pork roll, egg, and cheese on a bagel with pepper jack cheese and Cholula, and it was delicious.
Let me find the photo, Shan.
Yeah, I was really proud of it. I shoveled for a little bit, made that, and then shoveled again. All before watching Action Surge.
All right, we're going to the food channel.
You are gonna have like Alex Jordan guns by the end of all this snow shoveling, Shan.
I know. My arm actually hurts. I was going to talk about it in the next section because the literal next section was Blizzard. But I must have strained a tendon in my elbow because I can feel it even when I'm doing nothing at all. And it really hurt. Like I didn't feel it for a long time. I was sitting here, I was gaming, watching De Pit, and then right before I went to bed, I started to feel it in my elbow. And I went to bed thinking, like, it's fine. It'll probably... Yeah, there's the breakfast sandwich I
That
made.
is a lovely
nice.
looking sandwich.
Pork
Yeah. I also usually, like, scramble my eggs, but I kind of omeletted it. Kind of. I didn't do a great job. Like, folding it. But I wanted to fold it onto the sandwich to make it easier to eat than if I put egg scramby on there. So I folded it up. But yeah, it was delicious. It was really good. I might make another one because I still have 2 slices of pork roll. They come in like the version I got. You get 4 slices. It's pretty expensive too, but it hasn't been on sale in months, and I was craving it. But yeah, it's really good. It's just regular Cholula too, because they have different styles, and a little bit of tahini as well. I forgot I put tahini in the egg. Yeah, it's pretty
Which you
good.
explained in the channel what that was.
Yeah, tahini is like a chili lime salt. It's a Mexican import. It's very good. I put it on just about everything. I like it better than regular salt. But yeah, I was really proud of that breakfast sandwich.
Do we have a favorite breakfast sandwich?
Yeah, what's
Jazzy?
everyone's favorite
Kenneth?
breakfast sandwich? That's my favorite, pork roll, egg, and cheese.
My favourite breakfast, scrambled egg. Well, scrambled egg, bacon, sausage, black pudding. and then a sauce. Actually, Cholula would be pretty good. I've something spicy just to
Yeah. So
give
get
it
a little
some kick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the breakfast sandwich I make most often, and it's not especially super breakfasty, is sourdough bread. Just because you
Which
gotta have that,
best
gotta have
bread?
that
Best
crunch.
bread.
Especially for breakfast, like
Yeah.
sourdough and breakfast is like a
Bougie
must.
bread.
Yeah.
Rye and sourdough are probably my favorite breakfast breads.
So sourdough. Then I do like there's like a place where I go where you can get like jumbo sausages. So I get jumbo sausages and then fried onion. Put that on top and then chipotle ketchup. It's just basically like a nice little. It's simple but it's effective. Very tasty.
Is that your new tagline? Simple but effective.
Yeah, I mean, if anything explains me better, it's like.
I'm actually going to write that down so I can remind you.
Yeah. Next time Kenneth is in a watch party, we'll have to remind him that his new tagline is simple but effective.
Simple but effective.
Yeah, I'm partial to. So I'm really lucky when we're in Portugal. We have the bread lady who shows up, provides fresh bread each day, so that these kind of crusty white rolls, which are excellent. And I'm really simple. I just do scrambled egg. That's it.
I usually do just scrambled egg and cheese because, like I said, pork roll's kind of expensive. So half the time I'll just have like 2 halves of a bagel, split my eggs, some on one, some on other, with like a slice of cheese or butter underneath to hold it together.
That's why I like black pudding, because that's quite cheap. You can get 4 slices of it usually for just over £1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you live in the UK.
Yeah, but I don't even know if you can get it in the US.
I don't think so. Probably not.
It's probably like haggis. It'll be banned for X, Y, or Z reason.
Some reason, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite breakfast, it's very local. Like, that's a regional breakfast sandwich. Like, in Boston, there's a bagel place I like to go to when I'm up there for PAX. And they literally, like, I believe the sandwich is called the Jersey or something like that, Jersey Shore. And it says, like, exotic meat from New Jersey is how they describe pork roll. It's, like, very local. Kind of like how, like, Spam is everywhere, but it's specifically popular in specific places. But pork roll, I think, is, like, genuinely regional. Like, Taylor, the company that makes the brand we buy, are based in New Jersey. Like, that is a New Jersey brand. And they're really nice. I don't know what they put in it, but like you slow cook it in a pan so that the grease builds up, and then you turn the heat up and it cooks it pretty quick. I don't know what spices they put in there, what flavors but there's something about it's got like a tang to it that's just perfect. I could eat just pork roll and cheese on a piece of bread, because sometimes my dad would just like 2 or 3 slices with cheese between each slice on a roll. My favorite breakfast sandwiches to get at Wawa are the pork roll sandwiches, again, because like I love pork roll, and you can't really get. I don't buy the slices a lot because they're expensive, but it hasn't been on sale, and I was craving it, so I was like, I'm gonna get it. But it's so good.
You earned it.
Anyway. I did so much shoveling. Basically, for those who don't know, most of the eastern United States and eastern North America, really, but I live in the U.S., was hit by a massive winter storm over the weekend. It snowed for over a day, and it hit everywhere. Like, it hit the South. Like, the South had snow and icing, which is not usual.
Yeah, colleagues in North Carolina that had snow. Yep.
Oh, yeah. And it shifted north. Like, we were estimated to get upwards of 19 to 24 inches until the storm shifted north. So we get these every so often. They're not usually very big. They usually go out with a whimper. But, like, we hit our record for the day, which was like 8-something inches. We did 9.5 by end of day. And I could tell because I was digging it. I live on a cul-de-sac right behind where they keep my township's salt and trucks for plowing and preparing for storms and stuff. So they push a lot of snow onto our street. So the first problem is the snow, and the second problem is the snow drifts created by the plows, which I sent you guys pictures, but like the snow drift was like 3 feet tall. Like it was up to my hip. And I had to dig that down for the mailman. And so that I could get my car out because it was around my mailbox. And my dad always had us dig for the mailman, so I wanted to make sure I dug for the mailman, because like the snow was like a foot to 2 feet out from my mailbox, because they don't plow all the way to the edge of the street because they can't see it, and they run the risk of hitting the curb and having the plow kind of janked up because they hit the curb. So they kind of guesstimate or plow what they can enough to clear a street. And so, yeah, we always end up with an extra 2 feet down from our driveway because of that. And it was, like I said, we got 9 inches. It all blew into our side of the street. And then we had, because that was the other problem, was it would snow. You would dig it to kind of get ahead of it. And you would watch what you dug get covered up. It was 1 to 2 inches per hour. And so, like, I literally dug a path after I came home. And I turned around, and it was already white again. Like, the path from the front door to the driveway was like this, because we dug it, and then it would fill in with snow, and then it froze over, so it was solid too. So not only did we have to dig it, we had to break it first, then dig it. So I was like, I was out there for like an hour or so, because I also had to do my car, which had like a good 5 inches on it. Because I had work this morning. I wasn't going to do that at 3:30 in the morning. I wasn't going to get up any earlier to get my car ready. So yeah, big storm. Bunch of people in the server were talking about it. We were all talking about the snow. Because so many of us were hit by the storm, like up and down the coast, out into the Midwest. And allegedly, we're getting another one this weekend. Probably not as bad. But we'll see.
No rest for the wicked, Shan.
No rest for the no, not at all. I think we're up. I think this time it's not a winter storm though. I think it's a nor'easter, and then which is a type of storm. But you can have a nor'easter that's not snow. Like it's and then there may or may not be another storm forming on the West Coast at the same time for future reference. So. No, like maybe we're going to have a proper winter this year. We haven't had a proper winter in years. It's also very cold. Like we have Arctic air down here, the polar vortex. So it's also very cold. And this is like all the way up into Canada. Like this comes down.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's literally Arctic air pushing down. Like this isn't even the coldest polar vortex. I think the first one I ever remember having, I was in college, it was over winter break and I was still working, so I was like scarf, winter coat, hoodie under the winter coat, hat, everything, just to walk a few blocks because the wind is so bad in the cities, and then on top of that you had the polar vortex winds. Crazy stuff. Doc is probably the only one who will fully understand any of that, being from the north. You understand me. And it's always fun when we get to cosplay Canada for a little bit and it gets really cold. But no, we're trucking. We didn't lose power or anything. Flickered a little bit, but the ice wasn't as bad. The problem is the ice. Because you get too much, it weighs down your power lines, it weighs down your trees. But I think it worked out where it was all light enough. The snow is very light. It's very powdery still because it's so cold. It hasn't melted into slush. So it made it easier to shovel. It meant power lines weren't weighed down. So it's pretty much just the roads suck because they're like 2 feet shorter. Getting down my street from work was nightmarish because there's just the lanes are so much smaller because of all the snow piled up on the sides.
We know what to get you for Christmas next year, Shan.
A snowblower? here's the thing. I watched my neighbor try to use his, and there was a layer of ice, so it wasn't working. He gave up. I saw it. I saw because he talked to me and my mom and then left. And I turned, I saw he only did like half the driveway because he couldn't get through the ice. But yeah, no. I don't mind shoveling. My dad was always a drag everybody outside to help shovel, so that it takes a lot less time. But now it's just me and my mom. So it takes a lot of time. And I was out there digging by myself for a while. But yeah, it meant I didn't have to go to the gym, which is fine because I didn't feel like driving to the gym. Now my arms hurt. My whole body hurts too because I was making sure to like incorporate squats because if you're not used to digging a lot of snow, rule number 1, lift with your knees. Lift with your legs. You do not bend. You do not twist because you will mess your back up so bad. So like I was making sure like because it was so heavy, I had to essentially full squat to get these shovels up because the snow also wasn't exiting the shovel. Of course not. So like my around the muscles around my hips were also aching from me doing that, but my back doesn't hurt, so that's the small victory. I saw a lot of tweets. Mayor Mamdani up in New York was like out helping shovel in different neighborhoods, and someone like quote tweeted the video like, stop hinging your back, you're 34, king, you can't be doing that anymore. Like, as a 34-year-old, I agree. You cannot be hinging there anymore. But yeah, I mean, it feels pretty good though, because I must have dug at least 100 pounds of snow, given how much snow was out there. And a lot of it was in chunks. I'll have to show you guys pictures later. I took some pictures of some of the chunks, like because they were so frozen that they just came up in chunks. Like the iceberg that sunk the Titanic, except it sunk me.
So your pork roll was calorie neutral in a way.
I didn't eat for hours after I had that. Because I knew that. I was like, that's a hefty breakfast. Yeah, it's like, and I made 2 eggs, and I was like, this is probably way too much, because I made 2 pork roll slices, 2 eggs, and it's going on a bagel with 2 slices of cheese. Like, this is probably going to be too much. And then I was digging. I was like, you know what? It was probably worth it to protein max this morning and have a little bit of carb. Because, like, it was a lot. I ended up, like, all I ate yesterday was that sandwich, Cheez-Its, a couple of little tiny Reese's, and like chicken nuggets.
Chicky nugs.
So like I didn't do too bad yesterday because that filled me up. And then I went to work Sunday because I was supposed to open, and I get there and I'm sitting in my car after driving there like 10 miles under the speed limit because the roads were scary because it was under 2 inches they don't plow because you're just going to tear up the road. So, like, it wasn't enough for them to plow yet, so the roads were ugly. And my coworker didn't show up. So the district manager told my manager to send me home. So I treated myself to a little Wawa on the way home because they were still open. They have to be because they're servicing, like, they got a gas station there. And a lot of the salt truck guys will go there because they know it's open. So, like, I had a little breakfast. I hung out. I played video games until I was tired enough to go back to sleep. So it was just a fun weekend. I basically had 3 days off in a row. It felt so good because I don't usually take time off to just stay home. So that was nice. And then the day of our last Natural 6 episode, I got a special delivery. I finally got my Claire Obscure Collector's Edition. And I'm not going to get the whole thing because it's all spread out, but I do have right next to me this beauty. The one thing I really wanted, the Monolith music box. And I love her. She's very sharp. She's like clearly actually ceramic. She's not like acrylic. She's legit. Like they put money into this little guy. And I think the coolest part is like the rocks up on the top are like floating, which you can kind of see on the green screen a little bit, like you can see me through it. But that's my favorite part, is that top where the rocks float. and the music box aspect, but it's really hard to hear over the microphone. But that could just be Discord, but I've posted videos. It's very cool. It's probably one of my favorite collector's edition items. And like, yeah, it's like not huge and it was kind of expensive, but you know what? Like once I had it in my hands, I was like, oh no, this is worth it. Like this is nice. This is very nice. Like they put money and thought into this. Cause you don't get a lot of like breakable ceramic collector's items. They're usually acrylic or like that other really good strong plastic. They're not usually this nice. Resin. Like you don't usually get ceramic. So I was quite pleased with that. The box is beautiful. Like and even the styrofoam said Expedition 33 on it. Like they spared no expense, so it's well worth the money I gave them for it, in my opinion. I was very happy with it. I don't know about you, Doc. Were you happy with it?
Yeah. I haven't looked at my styrofoam.
I didn't. I was because I was
I
cleaning
have to
up. I
say-
just put the styrofoam to the side, and I was like, "Let me move this. Let me put this in the box. Get it out of the way." And I saw the front of it had Expedition 33 on it. I was like, "What?" I was jump scared.
So
bit
yeah,
like the
no, I
Naturals.
haven't. I haven't really had a chance to. I've opened it up and looked at everything inside, but
Yeah.
because it arrived on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, you got yours a couple days after me.
Yeah, I haven't really had a chance to bask in the glory.
It's really nice. It sits right
Just
next
yet.
to me with my pencils, my pens, and my signed spoon.
And I need to find a place to put it. So
Yeah, I'm glad I cleaned most of my desk off because I bought all those drawers I talked about in the last episode, and it really widened my desk. Like it feels amazing to be at my desk now because I have so much space. Yeah, and I'm learning how to KBM for Final Fantasy 14, which has been really hard. But because I have all this space now, I can actually put my keyboard and my mouse comfortably far apart.
Oh, were you playing with the controller before?
Yes, I was. And I was like, my friend said something about trying it with the keyboard and the mouse. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? Because like they make it very easy to switch back and forth. You click a button and it switches back. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. Because when you play control, it's very hard to like type things to people. And some, like you prioritize stuff on your hotbar. So like some of the stuff that people do instantly, it takes you a second. So I was like, let me try this. It might be easier to message my fellow gamers and things like that if I'm able to have my keyboard freely accessible instead of having to put my controller down type
and
in.
then mess about. Yeah.
And I'm
Cool.
okay. I'm learning. Right now, I'm mostly clicking my buttons on the hotbar. I was playing on an alt that's far lower leveled and thus has less hotbars to actually practice like using the different numbered keys and like holding down control to switch to my second hotbar. Cause like somebody actually walked me through how he sets his up and how he makes it easier so he doesn't have to move his hand as much away from the walking keys. But because I'm so used to having a controller, it's a huge learning curve for me. But it's fun. It's engaging me. Like I play Black Mage because Black Mage is very engaging. Like you constantly have to be thinking and moving and planning. And having the keyboard and teaching that to myself is making it even more of a fun challenge. So yeah, clearing my desk has been a godsend for that. And I have more room for all my drinks.
You'll be going for the MMO mouse next, Shen, with like 20 buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scared. But I'm doing my best. It's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's me.
Excellent.
I always have a lot going on.
That goes without saying.
Yeah.
Jazzy, what you been up to, buddy?
What have I been up to? Okay, so while I was recovering from rather
Oh,
mean
yeah.
chesty vibes, there's still a bit of it left. Everyone I know has been sick for about 4 weeks.
Ugh.
I know, but
Oh,
especially with the weather outside being not quite as bad as yours, Shan, but quite wet and wet and windy,
Yeah.
cold wet as well. We're talking cold wet, but not
Yeah.
freezing wet.
The worst kind.
Yeah, the worst kind. But it did give me a chance to completely fail to address my gaming backlog and only add to it. So I have done that by, first of all, playing the Dragon Quest VII Reimagined demo, which, goodness me, it's so good. If you like Dragon Quest, particularly if you like Dragon Quest 11, which is just beautiful, you'll love this. You only get to play up to a certain point, but I can't wait for the full game to come out. It is beautiful. It's got everything Dragon Questy you want. It's got slimes. It's got everything. So I played that demo, and then silly me bought Octopath Traveler 0, a game that people have said can take well over 100 hours.
Nice.
So I'm about 20 hours in, and yeah, it's really good. So it has this unique art style. I think they call it HD 2D. So it looks a bit like an 8-bit RPG, but kind of 3Dified. And
Kind of like it reminds me a little bit of like the animation for Klaus, right? Where it looks like it's 2D, but the lighting and stuff makes it look 3D
Look
kind of
3D.
vibe.
yeah,
Yeah, like that. I get what you're putting down.
yeah, it's that, and it's really really good. Unlike
Did you get
sorry.
it on what platform did you get it on, Jesse?
Steam.
PC.
Yeah, I went PC this time, which is funny because Octopath Traveler 1 I got on my Switch, and Octopath
It was
Traveler
a Switch
2,
exclusive for a while, right?
yeah, poured loads of hours into that. Octopath Traveler 2 PS5, got it on PC. Why not? But nothing carries over from game to game. Although Octopath Traveler 0 is set a few years before Octopath Traveler 1. It's kind of a reimagining of a mobile spin-off.
Got it.
But unlike the other Octopath, because the normal premise behind the Octopath games, there's eight characters, and you can decide which one to start with, and you kind of layer up their stories as you go along. So each character has a chapter 1, and then they sort of, depending on the order that you choose them, depends on when they join the party, and then you play everyone's chapter 2 story and everyone's chapter 3 story. So in my mind, when we're watching Natural 6, I think, oh, Elwyn's just done her chapter 1 story, now we're on to her chapter 2 story with the great sword and whatnot. But it layers us up. But what the Octopath games don't generally get quite right is how they bring it all together. So it can feel a bit disjointed, but each individual story is fantastic. And at the end of chapter 4 of each, once you've done all the chapter 4s of each character, you get this big sort of, it all comes together in this big climactic battle. The very first Octopath doesn't do it quite right. The second Octopath does it a lot better, but this new one, they've taken a completely different approach. So you have a party of 8, but you can recruit them from a wider cast of people. There's a city building mechanic, but you have a protagonist that you create yourself, and the story instead is layered up. You still have this layered chapter thing. Instead of it being built around the cast of characters, it's your main character, and you follow like a fame story, a wealth story, and a power story arc. And then adjacent to that is the city building arc, which is built around a secondary NPC called Steer. And again, that's layering up, and I'm quite early on, but I'm really enjoying it so far. The combat's quite fast paced but turn based, which is very similar to the old Octopath games. It's really good, and there's a demo, and I love that demos are a thing again, because if you're not sure about a genre of game, whether it's for you or the art style or whatever else, you can dip your toes in, play for it for a few hours, and then you can decide, is it for me or not. And actually, if you do buy the game and you've played the demo, you can transfer your saves across. Or you can do what I do and just start again. So I was doing that, and then, even more crazy me, I decided, after many, many years, to dive back into Animal Crossing New Horizons. And it reminded me why Animal Crossing was one of the highlights of 2020, because I put so many hours into that game, and then I was done with it. I didn't get bored of it. I'd done everything, almost. So I've gone back into it now. They've done something to the visuals, I think, because even on the Switch 1, it runs really smoothly, and it seems to look a bit better. I don't know if it's because they've done updates for the Switch 2, and some of those updates they've made available
Filtered
for the
back,
Switch.
yeah.
But it runs really well. So the new stuff with the hotel, it's fine. And of course, the very first night there, my favourite character, Celeste. She
My
was
favorite
there.
too. I love Celeste.
I absolutely adore Celeste, and
Did you manage to catch the Northern Lights in the game?
they were still there yesterday. So yes, they're still there. Um, Absolutely lovely. It's just a guilty pleasure. It's a great little because it's on my Switch and I can just load it up and play it in bed if I can't sleep. So I actually had it. I was actually playing on it while I was listening to the Action Surge. So I had that playing on my phone. Please join the Patreon. And I had that playing whilst I was playing Animal Crossing. And to be honest, yesterday in particular was I sort of I booked yesterday off work. I'd planned this for a while because I thought after Christmas I don't have much time off normally until Easter, so I thought I'd book a day off just to have as a me day. And so yesterday I had a me day, and that me day involved me not waking up until 10 o'clock in the morning, catching up on episode 46 as a rewatch because I needed some notes for today, and also because it's hard to get the details in an episode during the watch party. I love the watch party, but I just miss stuff all the time because I get distracted by people's cats in the chat. So I did that. I did some Lego. I replaced my lovely bowl coffee cup, which I dropped last week. Oops, silly me. So I replaced that with a big bowl of a mug. So I can drink even more coffee and be even more buzzed in the future. So I did all of that. So I did that. I treated myself to fish and chips. I didn't earn it by shoveling snow. I earned it by watching a show for 4 hours.
I don't believe you need to earn anything. I think you should
your brain
enjoy
was engaged,
life.
Jazzy.
That's exactly it, yes. And it was absolutely lovely. And there's a photo of that in the food channel as well, my lovely fish and chips. I also had at the weekend, because a friend of mine's Scottish, and with Burns night and everything, celebrated with haggis, neeps and tatties. So haggis, banned in the US because it's full of sheep bits.
They'll ban anything here except what they probably should ban.
Yeah.
But I'm not allowed to say that.
Sheep lungs before you think it's anything a bit more.
Yep.
I know what haggis is.
Yeah, it's absolutely lovely. Had that with normally neeps is sweet. What do they call swedes in America? Is it rutabaga or
Turnip.
Turnips, yeah.
Right, fine. So I had those. I normally have them mashed, but I roasted them instead. So I had roast potatoes and roast swede with the haggis and a lovely peppercorn sauce and everything, and it was just. So yeah, so a lovely couple of days of pampering me, pampering my friend, being pampered by said friend who brought wine over. Fantastic, really. And we caught up and watched the rest of The Traitors because I was a little bit behind and I knew there were spoilers everywhere. Managed to avoid the spoilers because, hey, I'm the prince. Absolutely, honestly, The Traitors has got to be my favourite TV show for the part of the last decade. It's just so evil, but deliciously so. The scheming and the deception and the lies. It's just so delicious, and I love it's just such a wonderful. And there's the Irish Traitors are now available to stream.
Ooh.
Which I'm very excited to catch up on as well.
Who's the host of that one?
Oh, I forget her name, but she's from Derry Girls.
Oh,
she's
really
the one
good.
who hosts the pottery show.
Oh yeah.
Which is also a really good show.
We have Alan coming.
Who
hosts US
Good
Traders.
choice.
He was meant to be the original host for the UK Traitors. He was then unavailable, so then they got
Yeah.
Claudia Winkleman in, and then he was then available to do the US one.
Siobhan McSweeney is the.
Siobhan McSweeney.
That's
Okay.
her. She's wonderful. She hosts a pottery show
Mm-hmm.
called the Great British Pottery Throwdown, which is also an excellent program. I think she'll be a great host for the Traitors. So, comment below. Would you be a traitor or a faithful? And do you think we would make a good traitor or would we make a good faithful? Obviously, I'd be a great faithful. But what do you think?
Of course
we
you
have
would,
some some controversy going on with ours because of course we do. What else? What else do we have going on?
Controversy's great.
Controversy
people
is
talking.
great. Little bit of implied homophobia. Good times.
Sells newspapers.
Bad.
Shan.
Bad. Yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Makes
There's
people
just some-
makes people click on links and get angry.
Yeah. Some mean implications were made against one of the contestants based on his sexuality and history. So it's just a good time.
Wow.
Excellent.
Gotta love it. Also, Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey's mom was on it. I don't know if she got booted, but we love Mama Kelsey, so that's fun.
The US one is available to stream in the UK as well.
Oh,
so-
nice.
Oh.
I want to watch all of it really bad. It seems like my kind of like reality show.
I know a lot of people who were like, "Oh, I don't see the point. Don't see the point," and then they watched an episode and they're like, "Oh my, it's amazing!" And we had a celebrity version recently, and a lot of people at my work, that was their entry, that was their gateway into the Traitors, and so they watched that, they loved that, and now they've watched the regular series. It's the fourth regular series in the UK.
The gateway drug.
It's
to
very
the
hard.
Traitors.
Drug.
Because I watch it with my friend, so sometimes I'm a day or so late, and trying to this headset is my friend because I can just blot out the spoilers in the office.
You have plot armor, but for spoilers.
Yep.
Hey, always thinking about the spoilers.
Real life spoiler text.
Real life spoiler tag.
I live the spoiler life,
Yeah.
clearly. So yeah, that has been pretty much what I've been up to. What else was there? New bedding. That was a
Yes.
Christmas present, as discussed. A few weeks ago, took down my Christmas tree, so my natural 6 ornament is now on the night.
Ooh.
Very
Also
nice.
a Christmas present. But yeah, so the ornament's got a new home. Can't wait to find out what the next merch drop has in store, actually.
Mm.
And that's been my life.
Excellent.
Nice.
Sir Jazzy of Baroon. Kenneth.
I feel like mine's going to be quite short, really, because I've not been doing much apart from streaming and working, unfortunately.
Simple but
I've just been
effective,
doing
you
those
might
two
say.
things for the most part. But I guess we'll start off. We'll start off with bad and then get gradually better. So one thing I have been doing is self-torturing myself by staying up till 3 a.m. watching the NFL and watching my Rams play playoff football. I watched the Bears game, which was torture because we were winning, then we were losing, then we were winning, and we were easily gonna win, and then we drew, so we had to go to overtime, and then that was a whole thing where we went 3 and out, and then they basically could have won it, and then threw an interception. I was like, oh my god, we're back in it again. So yeah, that was not great for my heart. And then decided to do it all again because why not? And yeah, watched us play the Seahawks, who are a divisional rival. And a friend of mine is a Seahawks fan, so I was getting nothing but non-stop abuse through my messages during the whole thing. And yeah, we were kind of in it, and then we fumbled a punt, and then it kind of was catch-up time since then. And then yeah, we had a chance to get ahead and didn't do it, and then time was against us, unfortunately. So yeah, so then I got really sad. But apart from that, everything else is great. But to be fair, we got to the championship game, which is good. I of course would love to have been in the Super Bowl because I think the NFC side's stronger than the AFC side. So I think basically between the Rams and the Seahawks, whoever won that, I think are the favourites to win the Super Bowl. The way the AFC side's been playing out. So it could have been another chance to win another Super Bowl. Another annoying thing, which I didn't realize until today, is if the Seahawks do win the Super Bowl, they have 2 and we have 2, so then we'll be tied, which is even more annoying.
I just think it would be funny if Sam Darnold was the one from that quarterback class that won the Super Bowl, because I have to keep hearing about how good they are, and none of them have won a Super Bowl, and it would be really funny to me if Sam Darnold, out indefinitely due to mononucleosis, won a Super Bowl before them.
Yeah.
That's my favorite meme.
This is definitely Sam Darnold's revenge tour. It's just like, you said I was washed, and now here I am.
You guys posted that graphic of me out indefinitely due to mononucleosis so many times that you thought I was out, but I'm in.
Well, somebody told me, and it's a really good point, because I have a friend that's a Raiders fan. Rest in peace for him, because that is a rough franchise to follow these days. But another friend made an incredibly valid point that the Raiders trading for Geno Smith from the Seahawks meant that the Raiders now have the #1 pick in the draft, and the Seahawks might win the Super Bowl. So it kind of worked out for both teams, really.
Yikes.
So
we begged for the Chiefs not to make it to the Super Bowl, and who did we get?
The Patriots. Instead.
That Marvel meme made me laugh so hard. Like, it makes me upset as someone who has been in many Super Bowl games against the Patriots. Not me, but my team. But the whole, like, you wanted them to lose, and where did it bring you? Back to me. And I'm so mad about it. I'm so sick of the Patriots.
It also reminds me of the Star Wars meme, the Jason Isaacs one, where it's just like, somehow the Patriots have returned. It's just so good.
Like, I mean, it'll be a funny Super Bowl at the very least. Not the one I would have wanted, but funny at least.
Yeah, although I have to by default root for the Patriots now because the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl, unfortunately. But also would be quite funny that since 2016 the AFC, the teams that have won the AFC have only been the Patriots or the Chiefs that have won the Super Bowl, which is an incredible set.
And the Seahawks always win when we choose a new pope. So who knows, man?
I feel like it's destiny then.
And it's an American pope. Like, who knows, man?
But to be fair, that has been the highlight of this season, is the fact that the Pope is a Chicago's Bears fan. And people are like, the reason why the Chicago Bears are doing so well is they have God on their side.
Yeah, they had God, and then they were working with the Eagles, which was my other favorite
it's a hell
joke.
of a ringer.
Yeah.
Listen.
They have the 13th fan, which is just God out.
Just God, yeah.
God outside.
God.
I think it would have been really interesting to have Rams Patriots, because you would have had essentially the best defense in the NFL playing essentially the best offense in the NFL.
Yeah. I also wanted retribution as well, because I watched live in a bar the Rams Patriots Super Bowl, where it was like the lowest scoring Super Bowl ever.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
And I have a picture on my phone of me just looking incredibly depressed, because we were basically in the game until the fourth quarter, and then Brady did one touchdown, and that just won the game. It was just one touchdown.
You didn't even have to be a Rams fan to be depressed. Everyone was depressed watching that Super Bowl.
It was brutal.
Everyone wanted to just die watching that Super Bowl. It would have been more fun.
So I wanted retribution for that, but alas, no. So yeah, we are out now, but it's okay. There's always next year, maybe.
Maybe.
And then the only other thing I've really been doing is streaming. So I on my Fridays I have started playing the 100 line. I won't talk about the joke that's going with that game when people join the stream, because I feel like it's not YouTube appropriate.
Nope.
But yeah, I've been playing the 100 line, which is a game that Harry talked about forever ago, because I was also a massive Danganronpa fan. I didn't know this until Harry started talking about it on the podcast. I was like, oh, me too. And then he started talking about the 100 line on the podcast, and I've been late to kind of get into it because I knew I wanted to stream it. But that game is insane. It is the most Japanese game that has ever Japanned.
Yeah.
It's genuinely really...
There is a lot of anime bull...
Yeah.
Yep.
My favorite bit is that they introduced into the game the fact that all of the characters have like Sailor Moon transformations. Like they all just go from being a normal person, and then there's like epic music that plays with like a choir, and then they all transform. And I'm just like, this game is silly, but in the best way. But yeah, it's genuinely really good. I don't know if I could ever suggest it to anyone because I'm like more than the trouble is when they suggest that it's like 20 hours is like the tutorial. The trouble is that I voice all of the dialogue. So most people who stream it, I'm sure, will just skip through it. But I've decided to voice act all of the dialogue. So I think that will probably double the amount of time it will take to get to the tutorial through the tutorial bit. So it's probably gonna be more like 40 hours the way it's going. But the gameplay is really fun. I like the Fire Emblem style, like tactical gameplay. I think genuinely now I've played this game and I've recently played Danganronpa. I love Danganronpa that it's like a murder mystery, like Phoenix Wright, like objection game. But this has more going for it that like, you know, once you've done one case, it's kind of the same mini games and mechanics. Whereas with this, even though it's like, yes, combat's combat, like it can go so many different ways. You can do different play styles, you can use different abilities and stuff, so it does feel like it's a bit more varied to keep you invested throughout the whole thing. So yeah, so that's been really fun. And then I've started playing partly because Greedfall 2, well, this is before we had the release date, but Greedfall 2 would have been coming out at some point, and one Mr. Harry McIntyre is the voice of the main male character. I decided to play through Greedfall on stream. I played that game back in 2019 when it came out, and it was really good. Last time I was on the podcast, we talked about it, and Shan bought it. I feel like I'm spreading the good word of Greedfall. I just keep telling people it's only £8.
It's on our stream list.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really good. To be honest, I'd love if you streamed that, Shan, in Discord, and literally it's just you doing the character creator for like 4 hours. So like, okay, stream's done.
To a T. You haven't seen me play a game where I have to create a character. My God, like I'll be in there forever.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 was the worst one for that. I was in that for ages. I was like, I need to change this.
I laughed when BioWare, as the demo for Vanguard, just released the character creator for Vanguard. I was like, perfect. You can spend, or Veilguard. You can spend all your time waiting for Veilguard already creating your rook. And then by the time you start, you'll want to make it again.
Yeah.
Perfect. The absolute gaming experience.
I think Capcom did that for Dragon's Dogma 2.
Probably.
And with
like,
that,
it's a great demo.
And for that, you have to create 2 characters.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like that should be the early access for every RPG game. Is the early access is you just get the character creator.
Just get the character
so you can just get your character nailed in for the start of the game.
Yeah.
Lined up. Yep.
So I've been playing that, which is really good. Essentially, the vibe of the game is colonialism is bad, and that's basically about it. Everybody's a horrible racist or incredibly religiously zealotous, and which, you know, I'm sure back in the time was fine, but you know, I feel like we've moved on as a society, and that game is like really points a mirror, especially being a person who's British. It really points a mirror back at you and going, "Do you remember what you guys did?" And it's like,
I actually like made fun of my my producer for the audio drama I work on. I was listening to a clip so that I could caption it for a short. And they kept calling their ship the Siokana. And I was watching a short, and I heard my producer say, and he's British, I heard him say, Siokana is the Irish word for, I think it was like hope or something like that. And I stopped and I went, I need to look up how this is spelled. So I looked up how it was spelled. It is not pronounced Siokana. Like the second I saw it, I was like, so I said something to him, and he was like, oh, well, they pronounce it that way because they have no frame of reference for the language. And I was like, but you do. Your people wiped my people's language almost off the map, and now you wish to tell me that they have no frame of reference for Shoshana. So yeah, I picked on him pretty hard for that.
So what you're
'Cause,
saying
like-
is he's basically Abstergo in Assassin's Creed, where they went like, we can't have the main character with Black Flag be Welsh, so he's
Yeah.
just generic English accent.
Yep. So like I have a lot of laughs about that, about when British people talk about that kind of thing. It makes me
So
laugh.
yeah, so it's genuinely really good. I'm enjoying my replay through as much as I enjoyed my original one. I have maxed out my relationship with Siora, so we now finally have waifu. Although I feel like this, it's not a spoiler necessarily because there's
He's
relationships in
trying
that
to
game.
spoil me.
But Kurt, one of the other characters, Kurt, said, "Hey, I feel like we've got good vibes. Do you want to maybe like meet me alone away from the others at some point?" And I was like, sorry, bro, I can't. Like, yeah, we're good friends, but I really appreciate it. I was literally in the same room. I just turned around, spoke to Siora, and Siora was like, "Hey, do you want to have some alone time?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." I was like, it was so mean to Kurt. He was literally just got rejected, and then
Right
my
in front
character
of-
just turned
Right
around.
in front of his salad.
Yeah, it was. Bard was literally in floods of tears for that because it was so brutal to poor Kurt. He's just a normal man. He's just an innocent man. And
He's just an innocent man.
So yeah, they're the main things I've been playing. Like I said, I've been fairly chill vibes recently. Oh, I guess the only other quick thing is I'll be going to MegaCon in Birmingham, which is in March, because Maxence and Rich from Expedition 33 will be there. And I don't know how many more. I don't know how many more opportunities I'll get to see Maxence because I don't know how much he does touring to like do.
I wish that were
autographs and stuff.
me.
So,
I wanna meet
I'm specifically
Maxence.
going for those two guys in March. So that'll be fun as well.
We're not speaking anymore.
I'm sorry.
I want to meet
He's not
Maxence.
sorry.
What
I
I'll do,
want
Shan,
to
is
meet
I'll
Mommy.
call you on Discord and be like,
Right.
"Hey, say hi to Shan."
I just hope one day he comes over here. That would be fun.
Yeah.
So do the dogs, apparently.
Yeah, they're really
So do the
big,
dogs. They're
big
waiting.
SKA fans.
Yeah. Big SKA fans.
Full of wee.
Full of. Oh, yeah, are they? One of them peed in the living room last night, and his
Woo.
mom was not happy about it.
That was a woo.
That was a woo of wee.
Oh boy. All right. I guess it's me.
Yeah.
I finished the Expedition 33 thank you update.
Is
which
it
was cool.
good?
Yes, it is.
I haven't been able to bring myself to do it.
I still need to play it too.
Yes, it is.
It'll then be over.
It was nice coming back to it, having been away for a while. I thought I might get my character up to level 99 so I could get my final achievement, but it only took me to like 97 or something, so I might have to make myself a breakfast sandwich one of these days and
You could always come beat Simon for me in my game. Then
Grind.
You can get the levels from that if you want. I haven't beaten Simon yet.
grind.
Yeah, the drafts is a good place to grind, Doc. There's the two. I forgot what they're called now. Do you know the things that are horses with like a globe for a head? So they.
Yes, the
Renoir's drafts.
Yeah. There's like a
the
I forgot what they're
I
called.
forget what
now.
it's called. It's like the.
Yeah, but there's a couple of those there, and like they're really good because the bonfire, the flag is like right next to it, so you can just fight those two, run back, and just
And
go back
then
and forth, and then
refresh,
like
yeah.
a really good, and you get a lot of crumbs. Show the upgrade thing you can use for the pectos.
Yeah.
Pictos. You get like a lot of
Lumina points.
yeah, you get a lot of them from that as well.
yes, the merchant in Renoir's drafts, you can also repeat the fight.
Oh, cool. He's
And
tough.
if you gear your Mael correctly, you can just basically one shot and then
Yeah.
just repeat. And then
That's
one
what I
shot
was
and
doing
repeat.
in Renoir's drafts, was basically trying to make Mael a nuclear bomb so that she could beat Simon for me, because I'm gonna lose my ding dang mind. I cannot parry that man.
With the new update, now the big thing is Lune is you can make Lune OP.
Yeah.
I did not make Lune OP. I just kept my previous setup and collected a bunch of stuff, went through all the story bits. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't do the new bosses in the Endless Tower.
Good luck.
They
I
are-
did them by
I've heard bad
accident.
things about them.
I did them by accident. I regretted every moment of
They're
it.
quite
I
tricky.
just wanted to die faster. I wanted
Finish
to
up.
leave.
Finish up quicker. So I did that, which was cool. And speaking of making your backlog longer, Jazzy, I got peer pressured into buying Tainted Grail. In fairness, it didn't require too much peer pressure. So got Tainted Grail. It was on sale. Plus the new DLC was out, and I've just heard great things about it. It's kind of a Elder Scrolls like, based on Arthurian legend, kind of dark fantasy. Quite fun. So I've just been kind of running through that.
I actually didn't know that was a video game. I've seen the board game.
Yeah, so it's from the company that made the board game. Kenneth? Yeah. So lots of people were saying it was good. So I was like, okay. What's another 60-hour game? Because I don't have enough of those.
Me neither.
So, yeah, just playing through that, enjoying my time. Good story, all voice acted, which is pretty amazing. Some of it better than others. And boy, Shannon, if you want to talk about butchering names,
Do I want to know?
butchering Irish names, butchering Scottish names, butchering
Oh no,
They hate the Celts.
just
They hate the
pronunciation
Celts.
in general. But then it's weird because you got a guy who sounds like a Scottish voice actor mispronouncing things, which I can only assume is that the voice director literally said, no, that it's pronounced like this.
you're saying it wrong, man
You're
from Scotland. You're saying that thing wrong.
They're saying this wrong. And they're literally Irish characters for which there are things that are mispronounced.
Brother.
But having everything voiced is pretty cool. And so there's, thousands of lines, I would say. Very in-depth, cool story, pretty nice build variety. Can be difficult at times, but yeah, having a good time with it. And after the cantrip, I've been doing my egg poaching practice. So I've been having fun with that. Trying various techniques.
And how's that going?
It's going good, Jazzy. I had a reasonable technique, but I hadn't done it in quite a while, like probably a couple of years. Just because I prefer the kind of lightly scrambled with butter, etc. style, a little more. And I am partial to an omelet as well, but so the guys were like, poaching. I was like, I haven't done that in a while, so yeah. Did that on the weekend. I think that's it. I've got a series of coaching courses coming up, about 100 hours of classroom work So that's gonna be fun for swimming.
Yeah, congrats on that, by the way, Doc. I forgot to say it in the comments last
yeah,
time.
it's gonna be, it's a lot. So prepping for a meet here towards the end of March. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot here in March with all that, and I have to travel outside my region, which is the Northwest, to be assessed, because I can't be assessed in my region. So I've got to go. I have to organize some time. So maybe Leeds or Nottingham will be kind of reasonable distance for me to go. So we'll see how that goes. And that's it, I think, for me. Anything else before we move on to 46, guys? All right. Let's do it. Spoliers are up.
Spoliers.
Topic is changing to episode 46. Oh, no, not 47. 46.
We've seen into the future.
We're so
Oh,
good.
that's a spoiler.
Yeah. Episode 46. Shall we start with a shirt?
I love that shirt so much.
I actually made 3 different clips from that things on my soundboard on Discord. So I have the Aoife either realizing or explaining what it means. Am I allowed to say it? We're far enough into the episode that I can say
Yeah.
it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was I got the bit where she goes, "The early bird gets the sluts," and then like giggles. I also got Ben's original "Wake Up Sluts," and then obviously the bit where Aoife goes, "I want you to do a dramatic reading of my shirt," and there's a "Wake Up Sluts, it's time to sin." So when I go into voice chats, my thing is "Wake Up Sluts, it's time to sin," and I'm in a Final Fantasy 14 server, and whenever I come in, I'll just hear one of my friends has been visited by him many times at their Artist Alley table, so I'll just hear "Oh, Ben" every time I come into the call. But yeah, I love that clip, that socials clip that they shared. Just watching Harry slowly losing his mind is so much fun.
I think my personal favorite rendition of it was when they were talking to Trey, and Aoife was, and Dolly was like, well, Dolly/Aoife was like, "Have you made any other vows?" And said it in like a really sultry way. And then Harry said, like, Trey just like shakes his head and winks back at Dolly. And then I think it was like Ben or something else like said something to Aoife again about the t-shirt. And she was just like, "Yeah, wake up, it's time to sin," to like Trey. Just like time to break that vow.
I love them.
I have to say, on the subject of the shirt, I don't know if you've seen it in the fan art. Martina's done
Let's,
as always.
Art.
we're going to have to do a retrospective, I think, on Martina's fan art. But
I literally opened right to it. Amazing.
It's iconic.
Incredible.
It's just
excellent. Yes.
go check it out. Join the Discord.
Join the Discord.
Check out the
come
fan
hang
art.
out
Check
with
out
us.
Martina.
I promise I won't server mute you. Come hang out with us.
She will, but you'll deserve it.
I won't.
And you'll love it.
I won't. I'll
She
be
will.
good, I
She will
promise.
if you deserve it, though.
Yeah, I
Star.
haven't had to punish anybody yet, but no, I'm willing to give Ben Starr a chance at being unserver muted if he ever
No.
shows up
If
again.
he ever shows up
but
again.
he never will, so he's always going to be server muted. Like Harry and I have both said if he ever comes back, we'd be willing to consider bringing him back, but he just hasn't come back.
He hasn't.
He's still server
He
muted.
has not returned.
I feel like
He
the
has
way to
not
summon him
returned.
is just say when we're in the watch party that Ben can't do something, and he'll just
Yeah,
immediately
he'll
turn
just
up. It's like,
show
I
up,
can.
That's literally how he got me to help him like threaten backer chat, was because he was like, he heard that Holly said he wasn't going to deliver his gifts, and he was like, "All right, where was it?" And just whipped out his phone, hand to me. "Where was it? Show me." And I was like, "Oh no." So like, yeah, we just got to get somebody to tag him and say he can't do something,
Yeah.
and he'll show up immediately, or get him to talk about his OC and tag the whole server.
He
One of the
hasn't
two.
done it for a while, so
No, he's
we're
been
due.
very good. I'm scared. He's
feel like we're
behaving.
due.
I'm scared.
I feel like we're due.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of queer adjacent stuff, I feel like that and Jennifer English's Be Gay Do Crime necklace are
I say that all the time. Be gay, do crime.
are up there.
I also like to quote that one Vine that everybody does, which is "Move, I'm gay," which is the one guy working in the office. I quote that all the time.
I should
Be
do
gay,
that
do crime,
tomorrow.
and move, I'm gay.
Excellent. All right. Where shall we begin? I have some questions for you guys in general, but where shall we begin?
Where do you
At the beginning?
want to begin?
What, do you want to run through the predictions from last
Follow
time
your
first?
heart. Oh,
or
yeah,
do
we
you wanna,
gotta do
Oh, we better do
predictions.
that.
Swash
You're
them
right. You're
Okay.
right. You're right.
So, hold on. So, Bard did get it. We did have a correct,
Yes.
which is
Yes,
sad
we did.
because Bard took my go-to number. But it's okay. We're gonna give a green highlight to Bard. Everyone else was wrong. Everyone else was wrong. So everybody else gets red lighted.
Yep.
Red light, green light.
Although I
Okay.
do really hope that next episode will be just one word.
Oh wait, I say red. Yeah, one day it would be fun, but I feel like it's just you have to get a really monumental word,
Yep.
like an episode titled Barabasque, or something crazy because like something crazy has happened,
I'm waiting for one like death or
Death.
wrath.
or father, or Feywilds, or
Yep.
something, or
Is-
like
is-
tree
is-
speaker.
Tree speaker. I
is
mean,
Riz-
the
is
number of
Rizlord one
episodes
word?
that,
If I
of
have a
course,
Which
start
one?
with
Is
the.
Rizlord one word if you have a hyphen?
Rizlord. No, I think it's 2 words. I think I've always spelled it with 2 words.
Really?
Rizlord, yeah, I think I've said 2 words.
I have it as one in my notes.
Oh, well, Jazzy would get it right then if it was 1 word.
Okay, so we've had one word once already. So we had Oathbreaker for episode
Oh, that's
3.
right.
Oh,
Oathbreaker. That was so
yeah.
long ago.
Episode 3.
Episode 3,
Yeah.
exactly, Jazzy. Almost everything else starts with the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holly's going to hear about this and
Hot
try and
heads
trip
and-
us up.
Hot heads and fast words for episode 6. Then the Trials of the Brothers, Flies in the Ointment, the Secrets for Sale, Blood, Wine, and Moonlight, Politics and Poker Faces, A Date with Death, A Toast to Trouble, Scales of Justice, Critical Failures, not too many thes, and then all of a sudden we've got like 7 the starting episodes in a row. So yeah, it's been pretty it's been varied, shall we say. Not too much to the pattern.
Yeah.
Aska did not show up, so we can
No.
move quickly on.
No, she did
I'm
not.
glad she wasn't because Harry wants to kill her.
Yeah, I can't trust Harry.
We had a Aska stand-in
Yeah.
in our Magnus friend, but
Yes, I
Shannon,
think-
we definitely had a memory
We had-
jog loosed. Boy did
we
we
had a-
ever.
Bunch of things jog loose. Some of them not all the way because Ben can't roll. But hey. We had a full memory.
He was what, 1 for 3 on the will saves
Yeah.
or 2?
When Ben
for 3?
said, I was really disappointed. I really wish I had gotten the role on the statue. I literally, oh, me too, buddy. Me too.
I agree.
I think we all wanted you to get that one, but you couldn't do it, could you?
Nope.
I mean, who knows? Maybe if they go back, he'll try and take another shot at it. I feel like Radiant would be the kind of person who would be like, let me try one
I
more
want
time.
to try this one more time.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go back, Ben asks if he can look at it one more time, especially given like, I don't know, he's got it, like if he doesn't know something, he's got to be starting to suspect something, because like that episode was
Is it just me as well? But did they only look at 3 statues and there are 4?
No,
no, they
did
looked at all
four.
four.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
My note.
So
Yeah.
he was
have written
next
them
to
down.
one of them, and then so technically they only had to describe one, and then everybody asked about the other 3. So
Yeah,
like if you
so-
forgot that Radian was standing next to one of the
Standing
statues,
next to the Eladrin. Right?
it wasn't. It didn't really have it had a ton of attention drawn to it, but the other ones were so much more detailed and interesting that I think it's easy to forget that like Radian was standing next to one of the statues the whole time.
I was probably eating chips at the time.
I mean, chips are delicious, so chips and crisps, delicious.
Yes.
But yeah, I was pretty pleased. Like I was pretty excited, not only because like the content was really leaning into my theories, but like really leaning into my theories. But the fact that he had like a different memory that wasn't related to somebody he like was related to, was interesting. Like that was an interesting flashback that could be referencing a couple of things. So like I thought that was really juicy. I was quite pleased that that's what he ended up with.
So the reason why I wrote Rizlord in my notes was because of that. My notes basically say Rizlord almost confirmed ?
Yeah, like got like if he had rolled high on that statue, that could have confirmed a lot of things.
Yeah, because you got the other 2. You got the vision.
Mm-hmm.
He rolled well, and I think he got a 15, and then he got the intelligence check on the documents, so he could read them.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a statue.
The vision was interesting because I miss in the watch party because of the music change during that vision, and I got all excited. I was thinking, oh, it's track 9, it's the Feywild. But on the rewatch, I was like, no, it's not. It's track 11 was playing. Track 11 is called Shadowfell. The Shadowfell was playing during the vision.
Which makes you wonder who was trying to get it. And like Harry, the way he described the drink that he was drinking as well.
Like a scrying pool.
Yeah, he said it was a very, like it was a glass of something dark that was like something kind of felt like, the vibe I got was something was like it moving within it, or at least like it felt like something, like the light or whatever was making it look that way. But like, yeah, it's like, was he being manipulated into, chasing after whoever he was looking for, and thus bringing the barrier down and forgetting who he was looking for?
Or did he cut a deal?
Did he cut a deal to get the deck? Did he cut a deal to learn how to pass through? I saw somebody else mention it too, that they were like, oh, you left the instructions behind.
Oh, the map, yeah.
But he might go back and get them. They're going to go back to get Magnus at some point. And he did want to make sure that they could read what it said, which we could talk about later, like 100%, because I really like the conversation they had in Action Surge, and I think it's worth talking about. I mean, this is a big Radiant episode, so we'll have plenty to talk about with that. But given the fact that he wanted to make sure that they could translate it for their studies of the other documents, like, it was fair enough that they left it behind, because he can always go back and get it later. Like, he knows where it is. It's not, unless somebody steals it, it's not going anywhere. But, like, allegedly the Spider Prince was already headed to the Feywild, so they wouldn't need it. So, like, it stands to reason it's probably safe where it is, and he can just go get it later when they're ready to. Chances are they are going to be going to the Feywild at some point. So,
yeah,
that's the only way to get Radiant's answers, unless he rolls really well.
Oh well, then they're gonna have to go.
Yeah.
I have
Get on
another
that taxi now.
Yeah, I have another mini theory, which might be wrong, but I have a feeling that vision might not even necessarily be Radiant's vision, like because of where they are. There's something interfering, and he actually had a Spider Prince vision, and that
Oh,
it was
could
the
be,
Spider
yeah.
Prince like having a conversation with the Spinner. So it said like we need like courage and stuff like that. So I wonder if it's like the conversation before the Spider Prince attacked Atria is possibly
Courage
could
we
be
know
that as well.
you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Could be.
yeah, could be interesting.
When we were listening to it, and I haven't had the chance to listen to it back again, but I got a similar vibe, Kenneth, that something was off, right? But what I was thinking at the time was, did Radiant jump twice? Right? Did he go because it was easier to go Feywild,
Shadowfell.
Shadowfell, because they're closer and more adjacent, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And there's some relationship there, that he actually got help to cross in that manner, basically.
Which would
Right.
also be how the Spinner knew to add him to the group eventually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, it would then explain, because all his scars and everything, the thorny briar and all that it's kind of implied that the briar is behind all of that, and maybe it's snagged his memories. So that could be from crossing from the Feywild to the Shadowfell. Yet we know he woke up in Lake Cova, and water is the theme associated with the boundary between the Shadowfell and everywhere else. So then maybe he did one jump, scarred up and messed up and everything. Jump 2, water. Wakes up on a lake, having travelled through the water. I like it.
Yep. So, you can come back to this episode in 25 episodes or whatever, Jazzy, and we
Whenever
see whether
Ben is ready to take over the A
see
plot.
whether we're correct, right? But
Oh no, Radiant will be dead by then. It's fine. He'll be on his third. He'll be on his
it
third
won't matter
character.
at that point.
He'll be playing as
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clax.
Yeah.
What I did kind of related to all that, it was interesting that Ben said during the action surge that, or at least implied now, that he has discussed things with Harry. Whereas previously I felt like Ben was just kind of along for the ride a little bit. And now it's like, nope, he's not along for the ride. Now he is.
Yeah, I mean, I think they talked a lot about, when it feels like you can weave in somebody's plot. I don't think it ever felt right to weave in Radiant's plot. I think because we all started saying, like, I think it's time as we're getting closer to the Alanites.
Yep.
And because, like, that's technically a border, and plus, like, he was, he had all those visions, and, like, he was changing his behavior and stuff, and then we found out he was actually a Ladrin, and it's like, we were all saying to each other, like, at some point we're going to have to address who Radiant is, and Ben basically said the same thing, like, you can only be doing this for so long. So it's like, yeah, like, it makes sense that they would start talking about it, because it's starting to feel like it's going to be time to start exploring that, especially now that we've learned so much about Thalon. He recognized his gods. Like, it feels like we're getting to the point where it's going to be time. And now, and going to Taliska, which is Feywild Light. Like, it makes perfect sense to start considering dripping him into the plot and slowly moving him into the A plot, which he really hasn't been in quite some time.
I think Ben may. If I've misremembered, do jump in. But I think Ben has said before that I think he's felt like he doesn't want to hijack someone else's art.
Yeah, he has. He has said that a couple of times. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I forget when. I think he said it most recently during the Old Dark. I think
Yes.
because they brought up the Eladrin thing and he didn't mention it, which is something that we'll talk about later because that was a big thing that they talked about, which is what I was alluding to earlier. He chose not to mention that because he didn't feel like it was something that needed to be said in that point in time in the
that
story,
moment.
number one.
Yep.
And also because, as we'll talk about later, Radian kind of was hesitant to even consider it, or has been hesitant to consider that an option. So yeah, Ben said that a couple times now that he's comfortable like letting Radian be a question mark because every place they've gone has been more for the other characters. And like he'll weave in and out of that, but like he's been comfortable not hijacking the story. And to be fair, given the way things are, it's kind of nice to know that he's like, y'all have fun. I'll be here. I'm okay with waiting. You guys are good. I'm fine. I'm cool.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely had a couple mini arcs with him,
Yeah.
obviously. You know, the deck, etc.
Yeah, the Andy Ferran of it all. I forgot his name already.
Erastus Gracie.
Erastus Gracie. Yeah. Funny that I remembered his creator and not him. But yeah, he's been in and out, kind of, sort of. His visions and stuff. There was that whole series of every time he went to sleep or Misty stepped, he had a vision. And then he hasn't really had that for a minute. So yeah, he's been like kind of learning bits and pieces, picking up little things here and there, but for the most part, just kind of like there for the ride.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing for Radiant is that like his recent arc, which I think is a smart thing to do, his recent arc hasn't been him trying to figure out his past or remember it. His recent arc has been who am I now as a person, and that's been the arc of like I'm acting a certain way, I want to try and change my habits, like the whole like not drinking anymore because he didn't like the way it made him feel and stuff. So I feel like it's a really good way to get it, because then if Radiant starts to like the person that he is and then he does find out his past, that's going to be really fun because we don't know what his past is and who he really was in the past. So
he hasn't apologized to Elwyn for a while. He doesn't need to necessarily now. He can just live and act. There's that evolution now.
Well, yeah, his whole thing is like, what if I find out who I am and I don't like who that person is, or I don't like who they were? And it's like, yeah, I think that's a very valid concern. Like, I think that's very fair to, like, try not to find answers as to who you are. But, like, if you find out something cool, but you want to figure out who you can be for these people right now. Like, your only friends.
I kind of wonder whether it'll be, and this is it's the old Republic reference for you, Kenneth, is whether once he realises the truth of who he was, does he embrace who he was, or does he embrace who he is? If you know, you know. But or does he find out the biggest surprise of all, that who he was is who he is, and actually that was always who he was, and he had no reason to be afraid. That was always who he was, and the events since would have shaped him in exactly the same way as if he had known or forgotten. There's a few. I can't wait to find out.
That's why I like that conversation with Twink, when he said, like,
Thanks,
what if I meet somebody, who knows who I like? What do you want somebody to say when they, see you again or whatever? And it's like, oh, it's you. And it's like, I think that's, I literally said, jot that down. I said in the episode, and I said it in the watch party, jot that down, because Harry is going to remember that he said that. And he's going to use it because it was really important to Radiant in that scene. And I think he's going to be able to use that as a connecting tissue for whenever somebody from Radiant's past, finds him.
I'll just say one thing, and then we should return back.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about
this nonsense later.
But yeah, I the progression of what if I don't like who I was is one thing. But it is very interesting that all the chatter, all the talk, even Ben's perspective is the worry that I wasn't who I want to be. what if the reverse is true? What if you can't live up to who you were?
Yeah, that
Right?
sucks too.
And knowing Harry and some of the other themes that he has, I think there is a strong possibility that is rather the case. But we will see. Back to the predictions, though.
Yeah.
I think Andy is an episode too late. I expect we will have a recital encounter.
Yeah.
And
The run did not
the
happen.
episode is not called The Run.
No,
I'm afraid.
not yet.
That could be the next one, though.
Could
I
be
was
the
going
next
to-
one.
I was going to save that for later, but yeah.
So
Also, I would class I going pro as a greasy win because I thinks he's going to go pro. Whether
The
he's any good
whole-
at sailing, who knows?
I guess the whole party is going to go pro, I guess.
fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Blow
do
up some
love
houses
I's
till you
like
make it.
I do love I's confidence in the whole matter. Though it's like, yes, I will be a sailing champion.
Yes. Hey, I'm glad I was at least right that the one character who's determined to be a sailing champion is I. And I think it's in part because he's so mad he lost that race. He's so mad he lost that race.
Yeah.
Yep. He needs to have his redemption arc.
Kelnis needs his spell slots for that race. All that Leicester
Needs a
restoration.
long rest.
Yeah, I don't know. How many times was it cast, Kenneth?
It was cast 3 times. Oh no,
No.
it was cast. Oh no, it was cast
Way
5
more.
times.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cast on Radiant. Actually, no, it was never cast on Radiant. I remembered on the rewatch. It was cast on Dolly and I. Radiant was left alone. I don't know if that's just because they forgot Radiant had it. And then it was cast on. What's
It was
the name?
cast on several NPCs.
The celebrate.
It was it's 2 people in the forum meeting. It was cast on as well.
Yep.
It was Fig and Boralis.
Then it was
on
cast on
Morales.
Elowyn at least once.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Oh no, Elowyn's went by itself. It's when she got to the bottom of the hill, it went away. She didn't
Okay.
actually like.
I
They didn't
thought
actually use it for
I
that
thought
one.
he cast it on her once.
Well,
Uh,
I did give her lots of pieces of honey cake. If that's
Honey
what
Yeah,
you're
cake,
he
thinking of.
tried.
Honey cake is canon. Is in my notes. Honey cake is canon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Elowyn seemed to fade from what doing the rewatch. From what Harry was saying, Elowyn's just kind of went by itself once they left the square. But then I used it on. But then Kel used it on I and Dolly because they were both being affected, and they
I
used
thought
it on.
she failed to save before they went into the tavern, though.
No, Radiant did.
Okay.
But then I think Kelmus forgot to use it on Radiant because I don't remember him saying on the rewatch that he actually used it on Radiant.
Stay depressed, orange boy.
Fair enough.
But then they might have used it. He might have used it again because my rewatch only got as far as the end of the forum meeting. So he might have used it again on like the people
Aha.
at the dock and stuff. It's just I haven't got that far,
Yep.
unfortunately.
But yeah, there's a lot of cast of Lesser Restoration, boy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely need a snooze-a-rooney for getting those spell slots back. There was no sword-related shenanigans in this
No,
episode.
No
No.
sword-related
Funny you should say that.
shenanigans.
As soon as you said about the sleep, the snooze, I'm thinking that's a wisdom save opportunity.
Oh yeah, if they rest now, yeah, they're gonna go to sleep and they're gonna have some. I mean, even perfect chance for Radiant to have one too. It's been a minute, and he's in Taliska. We could have a double wisdom save.
But he'll roll low.
Oh god,
Yeah, he will.
Imagine though if Elowyn gets the depression roll bad and then also has a bad dream. It's like the ultimate wombo combo. Like Elowyn's
my
just not gonna have a good
God.
morning.
Yep.
No, and then she has to do the run. Bad.
She will actually be killing people. It's like,
Yeah.
right, don't kill anyone. If Elowyn has a bad dream and also has the funk, she will 100% be
She
stabbing
will
people.
be not in a good place. Especially if the sword is encouraging her to do things.
Mhm.
It's like, hey, that guy looked at you the wrong way.
mhm.
He's going to kill the Grenweird brothers.
Yeah.
He looks like Yilda. Yep.
Mhm.
Do we think so? Obviously, we're building up to the aptly named nonsense with the boats. Um, do we think there will be minis for the boat race? Boy, I hope
Ooh.
there
I
are.
hope
I
so.
really hope so. It feels like Harry would like really want them. Plus, they said like Mark at one point. They said Mark was working on something.
Yeah, I mean, even Mark's been telling us he's been busy. He's obviously not told us busy with what,
Ri-
but
He said it wasn't natural six stuff, but I don't know if we can trust him.
no, definitely
He's a
not.
traitor. Don't trust
He's
him.
a traitor. He's the U.S. one had a traitor who was unknown even to the other traders. He's that traitor. He's the super secret traitor.
Super secret. Yep.
Yeah,
Double trader.
double. I don't know what. I forget what they were
Secret
called.
traitor. There
was
is a
secret traitor,
mechanic in the UK recent series.
Yeah.
They're open about it from the start, so
Yeah.
that's not a spoiler. But yeah, so yeah, I think possibly minis. I think the backup plan would be to have, a little graphic and some lines like they did for the Avalanche and that.
They could
But-
still use the minis too,
Yeah.
even if it's just
Yeah.
on a rudimentary map, because then he can like move a little boat
They could
with
use,
eye on it or something
they
around
could
the
use
map. So you can see
Barabask
it.
as on one of the other
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baraboat.
Barabout.
Bodabask.
Bodabat. Oh, yeah.
Well, Mark does have those like modular dungeon systems, so
Yeah.
I presume he
Yeah.
might be able to like edit that somehow to make it like a canal.
And didn't
system.
it print a Kraken at some point so they could have a little battle at the end?
Oh god, he printed a lot of stuff, including like hand centaurs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yes, the hand centaur. When I asked him to create the ugliest thing he could find.
Yep. Since this is adjacent to what we were discussing, Jazzy, you play how much? Remind me, you played like a couple sessions D&D, right?
Pretty much session zeros, more or less, before the schedule gods ruined everything. So it's more video game D&D that I'm more experienced in watching stuff. But I've done like some session zeros and
Yep.
did the thing with Shan with Andy.
Yeah,
where
that
we
was so
moved
much
We
fun.
moved rocks, and that was so wonderful.
I want to
And
do more of that. That was so much
yeah,
fun.
let's do that. Anyway, sorry, Doc. You're
Kenneth, how many sessions do you think you got under your belt now?
7
7 sessions of D&D.
DMing. Yeah. Oh, do you mean in general? Sorry, I thought you just meant
Just
DMing.
of play.
Of play. God, like
Over 100?
yeah, I'd say like probably 120 now.
How many different tables?
Oh, that's a tough one. Original campaign was just one table. My second campaign is like a drop in, drop out scenario. So
Okay.
we have basically 10 people, and then we mix up the groups. So I'll have like a group A, group B, and then we swap around who's in which group. So
Oh my
that's
goodness.
So I've had
Okay.
like multiple tables with that one.
That's hard. Yep.
Yeah.
So, in your experience, what's the ideal table size?
I agree with Harry, and my ideal table size is 4. I know he said 4/3, but I
Yep.
think 4 is the sweet spot. Even just running for the thing that I DM, the thing that I've been running that I've DM'd is 5 people, and I think that's about the max. I mean, obviously, a really experienced DM, I think, can go crazy. Like they do it, like the D&D in a castle and stuff. They have like tables of like 10 people. I think 5 really is like the optimum max though, because if you want to try and fit in roleplay and combat, I feel like more than 5 people it starts to really slow down. Like combat, I feel like roleplay it's not too bad because everybody kind of gives each other enough space, but combat especially it slows up so much the more people you have, because if everybody was like super efficient and kind of figured out their turn between turns and then did the thing, but people aren't like that because stuff changes. They'll be like, oh, this has happened now, and then they need like 5 minutes to like figure out their turn. And doing that, like, the more people you have, it just gets a big headache real fast. So I'd say for me, 4 personally is like, I think, the ideal table size.
For your one shot, Shannon, how many were there? 5?
I think so. It was like 4 or 5. It was so long ago now. That sounds about right. 4 or 5.
I mean, it's the kind of classic. Yeah. Personally, I like 3. For a lot of similar reasons, actually, to what Harry raised. That when you are in the foreground, the other 2 people, it's a 50-50 shot, right? Whether you're kind of next in line, and that feels kind of good. It does make balancing D&D encounters tricky, though, with 3, I think. It'll be interesting to see. Andy, comment. Put a comment. What's your ideal party size? And why?
You stink.
The dog, not you, Andy.
No, the dog.
Savage.
The dog has...
He's trying to like get in my face, which is why I said it, because he was like very close to me. I was like, you stink.
It's not a true podcast if at least one animal doesn't
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Show up.
Doesn't try and join in. Thanks, Bear, for
Yeah.
checking in.
So
He thinks I have something.
I
I don't.
based on the items that you were showing earlier, like, clearly you must have something.
I mean, I do, but it's sealed, so it's not like he can smell it. I haven't
have enough
opened it because it'll
vessels
make
that-
noise.
You know.
He thinks I have more food than I'm letting on. I don't. I mean, I do, but
But yeah, I can see where you're coming from, though, Doc. That, like, yeah, I think you just have, like you said, like, a lot more room to breathe, and then you don't have to, like, there's less worry about you stepping on people's toes. If you only have 3 people, like you said, it's like a 50-50 shot of, like, it can be your time to shine. Whereas, like, 4, I think, is not too bad as well, because the reason why I like 4 is that you can do the buddy system of, like, you can have 2 people do one adventure. You know, if you're in a city, you can have 2 people do one thing and 2 people do another thing. So you can kind of, like, divvy it out that way.
Yeah.
Which I like.
I mean, just thinking about it in the context of Natural 6, this group doesn't do split parties all that well, or at least not so far. We'll have to see whether that happens here in our next lovely nonsense with the boats episode. But yeah, I think the undertone of, as we were saying earlier, like the waiting for your time, the kind of positioning of your character, not trying to, as Harry quite specifically explained, being the guy in the background who draws attention to himself just because he wants to be in the scene, right? Hey, look at me, I'm here.
and me too, guys. Right? Me too, right?
Me too, right? Yeah.
That's me, honestly. That's genuinely me.
Go ahead,
I think
Jazzy.
it's a bit like, almost like this podcast. Like there's a ceiling to how many people you'd want on a podcast at a time, because then if you had, like, say 6 guests, I mean, I know we made it work quite well with Paul Bondi when there was 4 guests essentially, but you know, if you had like 6 guests and yourself, it would be,
I mean, that's incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it works if you're doing like an interview show, right?
1 in, 1 out almost kind of thing.
Well, not even that. It's like, well, if I have 6 people on a panel, Jazzy, right, and I've got a bunch of questions, I'm going to ask one to Kenneth, and then I'm going to move, and then I'm going to give him space for 2 minutes to answer, and then I'm going to move to you, and then I'm going to go to Shan, then I'm going to go back, then I'm going to go across, and there's no discussion happening, right? It's just a kind of interview show. then yeah, you could probably make
rather than a D&D session with
more people work, right?
Yeah.
But if you actually want interplay between the individuals, then it's really difficult to do with more.
Because it was interesting when we did. There was just 3 of us and Andy, and we were just playtesting boulders. And
Yeah.
actually, I was conscious of like, obviously we're in this turn-based thing. It's how do we coordinate with each other and involve each other, even though there was a puzzle scenario which required some degree of division and everything else. And it's, I guess those dynamics become harder the larger the
Yeah, I mean they just do.
party is.
Yeah.
And so I think they've been doing a good job managing it with the size that they have, obviously.
So they have a template because Ox Ventures, when they do D&D, they have 5 players. But interestingly, when they use other systems, they don't usually. So Blades in the Dark, they normally have a much smaller cast.
I'm trying to remember for that Alien one shot how many they had.
Ooh, I think that was 4.
4?
Yeah.
Doug, Andy, Jane, Mike was DM.
Mhm.
Very good DM actually. I really enjoyed. That's the second time he's DM'd, which I really enjoyed because he did Blade Runner. Yeah, I think there was 4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah. The classic kind of 3 and 2 table arrangement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog number 2.
Dog number 2 has been summoned.
Oh no, now they're
By
both
Shannon.
here. I'm scared.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been doing a good job with the group that they have. It's just you do have to be patient and have the discipline to not be like, hey, look at me, I'm in the background. Right.
It's funny. I have a character at the minute called Fortune, who's a divination wizard. But their vibe is they're basically unhelpful for anything that the others are doing, or they only care about their own stuff. So when the other characters having like a really serious discussion about like this or what to do next, my character will just not be involved at all, or they'll kind of like pipe in every now and again. But the second it comes up to, hey, there's a magical artifact, what should we do with it? My character's immediately like, right, okay, so this is so he's like, I find it fun with him because I could kind of ignore the bureaucracy, like what are we going to do next chat, and then the second it comes to like things that affects my character personally, all of a sudden he's like, he can like jump in and have his moment to shine.
Is that
which
in
is fun.
person or online?
Everything's online for me now, unfortunately. The dark times of COVID meant that we switched to Foundry, and Foundry is just too easy to use now because everything's just automated.
Yeah.
And also we're kind of all around like local area, so it's like really hard to try and get everybody together now for like an in-person. I'd love to do an in-person session again. I actually really enjoyed it when we did it at MCM.
Mm-hmm.
It was really nice actually doing something face-to-face for a change.
I know. It's just like, and they're messing with my green screen too.
You're in danger, Shan. You're in
I'm
danger.
always in danger with
In
these
danger.
two.
Danger for the content.
All right. I'm mindful partly of the time, but also mindful of the contents of the episode. Where would we like to go next, folks?
Would it be okay if I mentioned Magnus?
I mean,
No.
always, obviously.
No.
No.
Moving on.
Please mention Magnus. You guys broke my green screen.
Which bit, Jazzy? The bit specifically that he fucks, or any of the other bits?
Well, that
It wasn't me. I didn't do it this time. It wasn't me.
always. No, I just found some quite. Firstly, I loved the fact that he tied into his backstory, tied into Lovac.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who of course, friend of the party.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was quite the thing I found fascinating, because you know Harry likes to play around with people's names and translations and things. So when he revealed that his title was Hjort, I did a little bit of searching because I'm familiar with the term Hjort, and I just double checked something, and it is Old English for stag. So when later Alex, as I, goes, "You is the stag,"
Stag.
I'm like, and he goes, and then Harry's smiling and goes, "Yes, I am the stag." I'm like, you know, he might actually be the stag here. And it made me think ahead to Laffy, because obviously there are some Laffy links with Trey, the Trey speaker. What if the stag in Laffy is a person of the other, or is indeed, you know, Magnus or someone that he answers to? And I just, you know, what's the story of their order? Because if it's all about Phelan and Laffy has those of the same order, then Laffy is clearly has got ties to Phelan and therefore to the Feywild, and is that how the party will get into the Feywild? And are the dragons in the Feywild? And they have to come across via the white stag, who might be just Magnus or Magnus's friend or Magnus's boss. It just the word Hjort just made my mind go all fizzy with excitement and possibilities. Because Harry loves to do stuff like that, like teller, meaning like web, and that gave us the spinner. So maybe
He also just likes footballers.
he
It's
does.
a 50-50 chance. It either means something or it's football.
Damn.
You never know.
But yeah, so but you know, yet again another NPC that we get attached to that will probably die. So
Feels like it'll be around for a little bit with the quest giving, though.
it's funny you say about the because I literally wrote the words quest giver, and I had this image for anyone who's played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, or you know, you have these little green bubbles on your mini map for all the little side quests. I feel like with Taliska, you've got these like 4 zones and like little green little quest bubbles. You've got the main quest bubble, which is the run, and then you're going to have all these little side quests and mini quests, and it just felt very. I really. The way Harry described Taliska generally, it's probably been my favourite location yet, because because I've kind of have a video game point of reference. It feels quite video game designed, with like a mini map and quest markers almost, and side quest markers and quest givers, and yeah, Magnus the quest giver.
Yeah, I think they could end up spending quite a few episodes in this city, because it just feels like there's a lot of mystery and little bits and pieces they can end up doing.
I mean, they've already more or less said that they're going to spend the next 4, 5, 6 episodes here. So, yeah.
Baroon was woof woof woof.
Jazzy, don't make me. Hold on. I'll have a look. I can find out how many days it was. Rift, Jazzy, Rift.
Oh, how many episodes they were in Barone?
From episode, they arrived in episode 5 and they left in episode at the start of episode 10.
So yeah, so 5, and then yes, you nailed it.
He did his homework.
I just remember crap and forget the important stuff. Which is why we need you, Kenneth, and your spreadsheets upon spreadsheets.
Need the data. I'm interested when you say Hjort, Jazzy.
Hjort, yes. From which heart, which is derived, which means stag.
Yeah. Um, could be all sorts of related things, though, right?
And I think the thing that also made me think of the whole Old English Anglo-Saxon thing is the fact they make reference to the manuscripts, and they were struggling to come up with what they were trying to describe. They were called illuminations,
Mm-hmm.
where you had these amazing like religious texts, and they decorated with elaborate patterns and all sorts. They were called illuminations, and that's again dates back to sort of Anglo-Saxon England and the Venerable Bede and that kind of era. Again, the language of the time was Old English, from which Kyoto. So yeah, my mind was kind of jumping around trying to work out: am I reading too much into it? Yes, I probably am, but it's fun to investigate these
I mean,
things.
Harry has definitely put that foreshadowing with names and such in previously, which of course could be a massive misdirection. But I'm just sorry, I'm looking on the fandom and realizing that there's a whole ton of things I need to cross-reference better here so that it's easier to go back and forth between Taliska and the temple and the individuals here.
I feel like just the significance of Magnus, beyond just the quest giving, was his real desire for them to come back to see him afterwards. As though there was
Yes.
something more to tell. Something, not just the quest giving, but something else that I'm like,
Yeah, well, it
what?
was interesting that because they obviously mentioned the white stag to him, and then he did the trick with his pendant.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that like Kel's first reaction was to go like, you have something really important to tell us about like the white stag, but I don't think necessarily he might be the white stag, but maybe his previous life he had some sort of association with like that part of the world and knows more about it.
Yeah, it kind of made me wonder whether essentially the white stag, because I first thought of like it being an animal. You think of the tales of Farthing Wood and a white deer and everything, and actually maybe it was a person.
Maybe it's a faction. Like it could be like the white stag, and it's like a group of people, and like Hjort
Like a sort
was
of
one of them in the
folk
past.
band. The
Yeah,
White
or like well,
Stags.
like it makes me think of Dark Souls and the Painting Guardians, where there's like this is basically like a really important painting that's forbidden, and they're there to basically make sure nobody messes with it, and and like the idea that like the White Stag are actually like a group of basically people specifically trained or taught to protect the dragons in Laffy because they
Mm-hmm.
know the secret.
Yeah.
So that's possibly
They know the secret, yet Kelness either doesn't know or is not saying, and yet he spent an awful lot of life in Laffy.
But I guess if it's a secret faction trying to keep a secret, then you wouldn't necessarily know.
And
Spoilers.
and he had to leave, right? At a relatively young age. So
Yeah.
while
So
you're
it could.
right, he spent a reasonable amount of time there. We know that after the fire, he effectively disappeared, right?
So it could have even. So it could even be. He didn't spend enough time to know about that bit of
Yep.
Laffy, or indeed,
Essentially,
yeah.
yeah, no limited time as an adult, effectively, right?
But yeah. So it was just a thing of, you know, obviously there was a lot of lore in this lovely, lovely lore in this episode, and a lot of it felt relevant to the situation they're in now. And I was just trying to sort of unpick what maybe foreshadows the next arc in Laffy, even though that next arc might not even come into play until like episode 55 or
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
something. How
Mm-hmm.
much of it's foreshadowing? How much of it is just stuff happening?
It does feel like we're not, yeah, that we won't get to Lathy till early to mid 50s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite
I
some
mean,
time.
I mean, we left Mouse at the start of episode 14, and we didn't leave the Sanctum until episode 23.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took another 13 episodes to meet themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, the pacing. I think sometimes when I make predictions, it's easy to overpace it and think they're going to progress that a little bit faster, and actually things need time to cook.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those that it's hard to tell, right? They could have spent 5 episodes between Haven and the Sanctum, but they didn't. They kind of sped run it, basically.
Yeah.
Speed run it. Speeded run.
Yeah.
Speed ran.
Speed ran.
Sped ran.
Sped ran.
Spedran.
I don't know what the proper verb conjugation is.
No,
there,
neither do I.
We're on the internet, it doesn't matter.
I mean,
we
people
can make our own
people
words.
can't decide if cast is a good enough word and have started using casted, but that's neither here nor there. No one knows how to read anymore.
One thing
Yes,
about Magnus, though, that did strike me, and I just remembered it from my notes, was when he was talking about the whirlpool.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because I think it's quite, the way he described the whirlpool was almost like there was this inevitable destiny almost, and yet the wild, or the free, as they seem to refer to themselves, is almost the opposite of that. And it's like this idea that there is this great whirlpool, and that there is this inevitability, and yet actually, they're all about being free.
I mean, the thing about a whirlpool, right, is that it has a direction, but that's kind of all it has, right? And yes, you can change your path in that whirlpool, but it takes substantial effort in order to change your path, right? But you can change it, right? It's not a tunnel, it's not a railroad, right? You can change your path if you put the right amount of effort in, but it always has a direction, right?
Sorry, my brain just went to, if you could change your fate, would you? Like, for some reason, it's like that one meme that's always there, and it always sneaks out when I least expect it. And you said that, and I just went, Merida, brave. If you could change your fate, would you?
I think the most memeable line from this episode is when Radian was talking about Barabbas to Magnus, and Magnus's line of all time was, he scoffed. He said, "Ugh, the sinless. Phelan wasn't sinless, and she was all the better for it." I was like, that is such a good line.
That's a
Like,
T-shirt for Aoife.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is a T-shirt for Eva.
Yeah, but like, yeah, that's just like such a good. And then also, it's a great explanation of like Harry's gods, is that they are all flawed, because they are the kind of more like the Greek almost pantheon of gods, and that makes them far more interesting characters. Is that Barabbas is trying to be that traditional kind of modern viewpoint of a god, where it's like they know everything, they are perfect, they can't do any wrong. And the idea is like, no, like the gods we had were kind of imperfect, and their flaws is what made them almost human to an extent.
Yeah.
Despite their great power. So I love that line. It was like a good description of Phelan.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Harry talking about that he liked this, and like Holly had chimed in, but this idea of like making the gods more human once they're gone. And like, because it's easier to challenge the myth now that you know that they can die. And then you find all these things about them that just make them more human. And like the idea of these learning about somebody through letters that they wrote to somebody else, and it's just really it's really interesting to I don't know if we're gonna get that same thing for all the other gods, because Theolon's just the perfect window for that perspective, because she made a very human choice and had very human feelings around that choice, and was not ashamed to have made that choice, and very much regretted not the choice, but where the choice took them. It's just, it really kind of hammers home that, like, some of these, and I think it's probably because she wasn't one of the virtuous, some gods are more willing to be seen as imperfect than others. And because she was of the wild, she was one of those gods. She was willing to be seen as more than the sum of her parts. She was willing to be seen as, like, messy, because, like, where she was from, it meant you were free. You weren't bound by these ideas, and you weren't bound by your trappings, and you weren't bound by, like, ceremony and whatnot. You were free. And so, and the fact that she says she doesn't feel better anywhere else than there. It's the one place where she feels like truly herself. So yeah, it's nice to have Theolon be the window into that perspective, because it makes the most sense, not only on a story level and a character level, but, like, in the grand scheme of things, it makes sense that the goddess who was from the wild, who chose to support the virtuous, would be the one who was willing to be seen as imperfect. So,
Well, they actually
multifaceted.
made that decision on the basis of, I chose a side.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't make this decision because I felt some affinity with the group that I chose.
Yeah.
I chose it because basically it was the lesser of two evils, right? And that I mean, she doesn't say that explicitly, but that's highly implied, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that I think the pantheon and the timeline is obviously a bit, wishy-washy with
Wibbly
how
wobbly,
much
timey-wimey.
how much we know.
Yes.
That timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah, timey-wimey stuff.
But the idea that the myth really has it's been repeated so many times and twisted so many times that it has no real, or has very limited link to the actions that actually occurred,
Yeah.
right? Obviously here we have a deliberate decision to hide things, right? And even the party itself is making kind of similar decisions. Okay, well, what information is enough? What do we say? Is it better to have a little white lie to save someone's sensibilities than to tell them the truth? Maybe in some cases, yes, if you have to galvanize a nation, right? If you have to get people to fight for you, if you're in a war, right? Propaganda is actually pretty important.
That whole discussion, I literally put it in square brackets. The whole thing of truth versus lies and secrets and revealing information and fake news and all that. It felt very, it made me feel a little creepy, because it feels a bit like, it feels very 2020s.
It feels very 2020, but that's like just a theme through history, right?
Exactly.
Jesse,
exactly.
like if you're in that moment and you've got to tell a white lie to get 1,000 soldiers to join your army, and your back's against the wall, you do it, right? Like, if you don't, you lose.
Yeah.
So
right?
it's that thing of greater good versus good.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I
when they're
mean,
the
you
same
got
and
all
when they're
those
not.
themes,
Yeah.
right? The many versus the few, the etc. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
love though is, like, I won't go through all the manuscripts because they're all quite long, but I have written them down. Even though Holly
Trans-
had added them to the fandom, which I did not know until after I'd already done all
we
of them.
probably could have warned Kenneth. And I
Yeah, that's
didn't
fine.
think he was going to go get them, or I would have said,
It's,
by the way, Holly told us she's done up to... She's
Yeah.
got everything set up.
It's my own fault for not reading enough of what Holly put into the fandom chat, because she put House of Letters.
She
and I
always
went,
tells
oh.
you guys,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, House of Letters, great, they've added that. What I didn't see is the sentence literally underneath it that says, and transcript of all of the things. So it's my own fault, I just didn't read enough of what Holly put.
No one can read anymore.
But the one to kind of cut back to this, and I think the last sentence is the most interesting one, which was, I witness endless war. It would not stop. It could not be stopped unless something changed. Either order would be imposed through will or arms, or else the killing would continue until the last breath and the last drop of blood. I could not let that happen. Faced between the virtuous and the vile, I could only choose the virtuous. Chained as they are to their beliefs I do not share, they are not foul. They had to win. I gave them that victory. I still don't know if that was the right thing to do. Which is such an interesting last part of that. So, like,
I'm telling you.
the idea of, like, I gave the virtuous the win, but, like, was it... The fact that she's still not sure if it was worth it
Yeah.
is so interesting.
Well, she was present, of course, when the gods turned on themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
And saw Ignace being pretty horrible.
To be fair, though, the gods stuck up for Phelan in that moment, because themself was like, well, they're from the Feywild, why do you trust them? And then I forget who it was, it might have been Ignace that said, like, oh, well, they've given up a lot. So they did kind of support her in that moment. But I bet, like you said, like, Phelan's like, oh, well, if they've turned on themselves, like, am I going to be
They
next?
could turn on
Like,
me.
Yeah.
And especially, like, they, the gods didn't, in the virtuous's, like, defense, when it turned out she was pregnant, they were the ones who were like, we can't kill a product of love that goes against everything we stand for, and thus protected the child rather than did what they were supposed to do. So it's also like they still have that virtuousness within them, but it's like how much of that was lost or was put on, or et cetera, the fact that, like, they still had, and again, like, they clearly had a favoritism towards her versus, like, the shapeshifter who went undercover for them. Like, clearly it's like a double standard, but at the same time, like, themself was also one of the people who was like, we can't kill this child, it's wrong. So it's like, it's just interesting that, like, she chose that side, and, like, at times she's correct that maybe they were the right choice, but just because that they sometimes show that they were the right choice, do they always show that they were the right choice? And I do like, again, that's more of that whole, like, showing how the gods had more humanity in them than we thought by having Thélan be unsure if she's done the right thing.
I think from her point of view as well, there is such a difference between how the gods operate in the Reliquiae, because that compared to the Feywild, because that first manuscript gave us some juicy little insights into what they called the Free.
Yeah.
And one of the intriguing things is the fact that they don't appear to do religion. They do not worship the gods.
Yeah, there's
I forget the
divinity
exact
is
wording.
treated differently, yes.
Yeah, it's they are unburdened by the fealty to divinity, which is such a good line.
Which is such a better line than the Free do not worship gods, which is
That's Harry McIntyre for you. He's Harry.
Yeah,
Loves his wordplay.
You get that vibe. Excuse me, that, like, everybody follows their particular god. And the fact that, Radian, the first god he recognizes isn't even his own. It isn't even Thélan. It's Ursulus.
Man-bear god.
And man-bear god. So it's like, it's really interesting because if he is from the Feywild, which we know by now, but, like, to show that, like, if they had a whole, like, every god means something different, like the whole when you look at, like, the Greek pantheon, every god was a god of something, not of a people. Obviously you could have your, like, deity, like your whatever they're called, I forget, I know the word but I can't think of it right now, but, like, they're your, like, your deity of your city. But like the idea of instead a god because they created you, probably because the lie might be different over there. We don't know. We don't know what their version of the lie was. Where in Reliquiae, it's like we created you in our image, but we don't know what the Feywild lie was. If they even like tell a complete lie, if they tell more of the truth, based on the fact that they seem to be more like less gung ho about the image of it all. But you get that vibe that rather than have like they probably have a pantheon instead of like, this is my god, this is your god, this is, you know, because if it's more of a collaborative thing, if there was no, you know, again, the trappings of divinity are not as, you know, like rigidly followed in the Feywild, it could be that they're actually among the people.
That was what I took from it, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean...
It's definitely true that... So, one thing I think to remember is that all of the players are, to a certain extent, self-inserts in the game, right? Mm-hmm. And that's very natural in a early set of sessions, right? And probably certain characters more so than others, right? But I would say that this world is a whole Harry McIntyre self-insert, right? Mm-hmm. To a substantial extent. This is a man who grew up in a very devout household and has basically fallen away from organized religion. And we basically have that playing out directly. We have the trappings of organized religion and a separation of divinity from the people. We have a whole layer of people that sit between you and the gods, right? Mm. We have, and okay, we don't necessarily know. I think it's interesting to speculate, Shan, like what the play is there, and we get some insight into it, and we can get a kind of feel when they probably inevitably go there. We'll get probably an even better sense.
As
right?
long as the gods aren't dead in the Feywild.
You have to have them been killed by that point.
Yeah.
But also, if they're not detached, then maybe the population is better able to defend them, right? Because they
know what's going on. They're amongst the people.
They're closer to what's going on, right? You don't have them all kind of hidden away. Basically, if you with the virtuous, right? You know, you go to one place, you can kill them all.
Yeah.
Basically.
But, yeah, in the Feywild, they could just be anywhere.
It could be distributed, all that kind of stuff, right?
They did say in the orbs, we will be prepared.
Yeah, that's true. They also were well aware of what was going on by that point.
We don't actually know which god spoke, actually,
no.
in that scene.
No.
Whether it was the Asimar or the Changeling or Man-Bear God.
Bear God.
So excited for the Changeling, by the way. I've played
the species links cool. do continue, though, so we do have that. You are the people made in your image.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the other thing, too. The whole, you're one of hers, you're truly one of hers, that could very well just be a Reliquiae perspective. We don't, because Theolon wasn't really among the Eladrin in the Feywild, we don't know necessarily if they even see it that way. If they see, like, we're your children kind of thing. Like, the way Magnus put it to Radiant, for all we know, they might not see it that way. Like, I mean, Radiant didn't even know Radiant, the father, for instance, didn't know that was the mother of their race. You know what I mean? So, like, who's to say? Because, God forbid, if the father is Radiant, he didn't know that was his goddess, that changes the game. Because, like, obviously all of the people in Reliquiae know what their gods look like, at the very least, because they're in our image. But if Theolon just looked like another Eladrin to the father...
I genuinely feel like that line, well, the series of lines about the father not knowing that she was a god,
Yeah.
100. I feel like that's the final nail in the coffin for
That
like
was
the
the nail in the
Riz Lord.
coffin for me.
Because
yeah.
it was because Radiant has that discussion with his dad where he's like, they took her,
They took her.
and you go like, oh, well, maybe there was another Eladrin and like the gods took her for some reason. But the idea that like Phaelon went to Reliquia, technically she was taken. I mean, she went willingly, but she was
Yeah.
taken. So the idea of like Radiant's character wouldn't know that. It's just like, oh, she was there 1 second and now she's gone. So I feel like that particular set of lines really supported your thing.
And he also had no recognition of Thalon. He recognized all the other gods. He didn't recognize Thalon.
Nope.
And if he didn't think Thalon was his goddess, I'm just saying, Harry's really feeding the Riz Lord theory right now. And the fact that he couldn't remember, or he couldn't recognize the statue, but he saw the gold hair again.
Yeah.
The gold hair keeps coming back, and we've only seen one Eladrin with gold hair. That's Thalon.
As confirmed in episode 2 with a description.
Yeah, and I mean, we could see more Eladrin. Who knows? But it's just really interesting that all those little tiny pieces, like the fact that, like, you know, Radiant can't remember what the most beautiful woman he's ever seen looks like. He remembers cuddling with a blonde hair baddie. The father didn't know that she was a goddess and thus would not know that he was a father because she left. Like, it's just,
Well,
it's juicy. I'm just saying, I'm connecting the dots.
not only that, Shan, right?
Oh, and he didn't recognize Thalon, but continue.
Not only that, there's nothing to say that there's only one child.
No.
Where's Leia?
We keep I mean,
In the Shadowfell.
In the Shadowfell,
I mean,
yeah.
going back to where we kind of started about the vision and the music that was playing, and the fact that it's not the Feywild, but it's the Shadowfell.
Yeah.
That, you know, just because we know about one child, and that child doesn't. That statement keeps happening, right? The child. Well, what if there's multiple the childs?
He's suggesting double Riz.
Double Riz.
Right?
I know somebody in the server has posited that Radiant is a child, if not the child, because
Yes.
we know he's not. By now we know he is not the child, which the whole reason I fell into the Riz Lord theory was because I thought that was too easy. He's the one without his memories. Everyone was like suggesting like maybe he's the child at the beginning. But like I felt like that was just too easy. He's like, of course we're gonna think that's him because he has no memories. But like for me, when I thought back on all the clues Harry had given us, it felt far more logical that he was the father of the child. But there's also the thing, like, there's a valid reading of it that he is another child, for all we know. We don't know. I mean, the assumption is that she left and thus did not go back to the person she loved and had another child with them, / like, because of the cost of having this child and the way she wrote about it, too, kind of got the vibe that was the only one, but we don't know yet. There's so much we don't know.
Well, what if, and this is the double Riz Lord theory, what if there is a second child from another mother? Another god, maybe the vampire god from the vial. Maybe he's got a little vampire
I'd explain
baby.
the person with the red glass of stuff.
Because when they show, because Harry, and I'm wondering if it was deliberate, when he described the vial gods, and there weren't so many of those there, which maybe fits in with the idea that either they just weren't present or more of them fell and there aren't as many vial gods left because they've all been defeated. But the way he described them, one of them seemed to be some form of giant, but another one seemed to be a sort of vampire, and like maybe that's who Radiant is doing the bargaining with.
I seem to remember as well, I swear Harry said it was like somebody with elven features, but they were wrong. Like they had longer ears and they had like claws and stuff like that. So yeah, it's interesting. Speaking of that, I'll do a quick rundown of the statues because I know we're like running out of time a little. But the east and west statues was the Eladrin, which Radiant was stood next to, and then the other statue was a mangled figure, which was
They looked kind of scared.
yeah. So it was a
wrong.
female statue that looked like it stepped out of a nightmare with claws and rotten broken teeth and a twisted face. Which is
Me.
no. So yeah, that's pretty gnarly. And then the other statues were one was the lovely statue.
The most beautiful thing you've ever
The
seen.
unfathomable beauty of all.
But then the other one was another. So they all, well, three of them seem to be elven. The other one we're not so sure about because their features are so messed up. But the other one was an elven figure dressed in fine clothes with a cane, and its face feels almost featureless and unreal, which made me wonder if that was a changeling, perhaps. Like, yeah, that's like a changeling's like default appearance. Possibly they were like a changeling, maybe. I agree. And then
We have support.
and then the
The
the other
dogs will
quick
support anybody.
and then the other quick thing is just what everybody saw. So Cal saw a figure with brown hair and green eyes because Cal wants his elven buddy back.
Yes.
Um,
His bunk buddy. His tree riding buddy.
Dolly saw a concept rather than a person. She saw somebody that just represents openness and trust, which I think made Harry choke up a little. Because when he like moved on to the next bit, he sounded like a bit choked on his words. So I think that hit Harry in the feels, especially after what he put her through with Docs.
Yeah.
And then I saw Tribe,
So I'll try.
and not himself with Tribe, just
No,
Tribe,
just Tribe.
which made Magnus chuckle a bit. It's like, oh. Elwyn saw her great grandmother, who she saw a portrait of in the castle. And then Radiant, saw a figure with golden hair, but nothing else because he failed his save.
Yeah.
Failed his save.
But I
Exactly.
think story-wise, it makes sense, though. I kind of like
yeah.
it from a story perspective that he failed that one because I think that that's something as great as that would be, and as satisfying as that would be to me,
Please.
to have him recognize her and maybe recognize her as Thalon, or have it be an itch in the back of the mind because he never saw her as Thalon, the father. I, at the same time, think that revelation should be kept for a Radiant moment. Not
Yeah.
just like a party moment. Like, obviously, if the party's there, like, I don't mean that. But I don't think that's the stage in which Radiant should realize. And obviously, Harry gave Ben the opportunity because Ben was the only one who he wasn't sure if Radiant was looking. He wanted to make sure. He wanted to give Ben the chance because Ben hadn't spoken up yet. Because, again, Ben is totally fine with just vibing. But I think that's not the stage to find out if it's who we think it is. Or for him to remember the big moment. I think it needs to be his moment if we're going to do that. Because that's going to, whoever that is, that's going to be big for his character. If it's big for us, great. But that's going to be big for him to remember this person who keeps popping up in his memories is. And I think he deserves to have that moment be his.
And
That's
obviously
not
Yeah.
just a
Roly.
Shannon likes
Yeah.
Ben situation. That's a for Radiant, the character who has sat back and not been in the A plot for most of the time. I think that should be a Radiant A plot moment. I think that should be like
Rather than have it a B+
narratively
moment.
satisfying. Yeah, rather than just he got asked if he would like to be involved and got really lucky on a roll.
Well,
You know?
the other thing that would have ruined it as well is that the map specifically said the ones that I loved,
The ones that
will
I
be able
love
to
will be able to-
access this map. And I think if Radiant would have like looked at it too hard or took it with him, I think that also would have spoiled
Yeah.
the surprise if like something did happen.
I could see that one of two ways, because like I did kind of like react to that, but then I thought about it. It's like she could also mean her children, the
The
Eladrin,
Eladrin, yeah.
Yeah.
her people. It could.
That's how I
think
took
it could
it
be
to
read
mean.
one of two ways. Obviously, it could be my child and my lover, but there's no reason to believe her lover would ever.
But the other
cross.
thing about that, right, is that, and we got a step behind the curtain to the significance of the role and the significance of the DC, because Ben rolled 24 and Harry's more or less said, I'm not going to
Punish
you for being
one
one
off.
below, before he then used the Bardic, and then I think it became 30, right? Because
30
he
got
rolled
six.
6 on the Bardic, right? Is something that's relatively easy, right? And progresses your character plot. You don't hide behind a 25 DC skill check,
Yeah.
right? You don't. So what they decide to do with that now, I don't know, and I expect they're, that's the thing with the two of them now, is that if they are talking about this and setting it up, those two, especially if you've seen the DrKagon episodes, those two together, they can cook up some crazy shit.
Tell you what though, like in Baldur's Gate 3, there's ways to defeat bosses that isn't actually combat. Like there's the coin that they've patched it now, but it was the coin thing where you could like make a boss explode if you gave them the thing and gave them loads of money. But I would love the idea of like in the future, like you have this map that only like Phaelon's loved ones can read. I love the idea is they have the massive final battle with Barabask, and then Radian goes, "Hey, can you read this, Barabask?" And he's like, "No, why?" It's like, "Oh, the Phaelon's loved ones." And he goes, "No," and then kills himself. It's like that's how
Absolutely.
just like epic boss
Absolutely.
battle of Barabbas just like implodes because he finds out the truth. That'd be so funny.
She never liked you.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not
Never. She was forced to take you on to make good with the Wood Elves, all right? She never liked you.
I'm not so sure he ever really liked her because
Nah.
he never visited her,
Nope.
and that was in my note. He never visited.
Yeah.
He was disappointed in who she was. He wanted her to
He
be
didn't-
something else.
He wanted her to not. He was disappointed in the Feywild part of her because she
The
wasn't.
real her.
Yeah, the real her was not what he because you see the way he behaves.
Oh,
Didn't
God.
have the
And-
order.
Yeah, and now he's like the god. So if you look at the way he behaves, you can see what he values. And it's control and order and like, high respect for our religious stuff. And like if she's based on what we've learned about the Feywild, that's probably not what she was at all. And finding out she had a child probably didn't help. She probably disappointed him greatly. And yeah, he probably did not care for her. He cared about his position and the position that being her Antiqua allowed him. I bet you she didn't like him at all, because if he had that kind of attitude, why would you want to, you're my representative? Like, I'm stuck with you now. This sucks. But I can imagine her picking him, or at least accepting, because we don't know how that works. At least accepting him because she needed to appeal to her new children, the Wood Elves, and not the Eladrin. And so obviously, yeah, of course she would flee to the Feywild and hook up with a hot Eladrin boy. Because, like, these guys suck. These guys are boring. She had to create a whole second city because she was sick of these, like, obsessed, like, these snooty, like, very much the stereotypical elf. She was sick of them. Of course she would flee back to the Feywild and sleep with a cute Eladrin boy. Because that's what she missed. That's what she loved. And so, yeah, I bet Barabbas chased her right into the arms of another elf.
If we ever, because we've set the precedent with themselves that the visions of a god are a thing that can be imparted on the party, it will be interesting to see whether that happens for Theolon, because that would be it would shed some light on a whole series of different events, right?
And who knows, maybe it'll help Radiant understand himself. Not even like if my theory holds kind of thing, but like because he's a Ladrin, he's lost so much of himself. And Ben talked a lot about how he doesn't want to accept it because he's still kind of coming to terms with it, which is why he still calls himself a Wood Elf. I really liked a lot of what Ben said in the Action Surge. There's a lot of really cool, smart things said in the Action Surge about Radiant in general.
He changed it up for this episode. He said elf, which was
He
interesting.
did. He just said elf.
He's still not commit. He said, because I think he said, didn't he? He's not committing. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I did like
he
that.
He doesn't want Radiant. Like, he wants to decide as he goes, as it makes sense to the story and the character, as opposed to because he found out he's a Ladrin, let's be a Ladrin now. And I think that's a totally fair, because like that's how it works in normal fiction. Is like you don't necessarily do it all at once. You have to like come to understand
there's a
what it means to you.
progression by which you learn these things.
Yeah, and like I mean that's just normal.
Absolutely. My running theory is that the virtuous chose clerics as their representatives to the people. My running theory is that the Fae chose wizards as their representatives to
That'd
the people.
Be cool. That'd be cool.
Right. With the chaos and that Radian is
he sucks at being
he's Theon's representative effectively. And
But a good
Riz or no Riz,
Riz.
that fits in quite nicely, right?
Yeah.
I suppose if you continue that theory, it's also quite plausible that the Vial would do something similar with barbarians, like the champion of the Shadowfell is a giant who looks a bit like one of the gods depicted in the image. So maybe they have barbarians, and like you say, they have wizards, and ooh.
Yeah,
Yep.
and to all of this too, the one other thing that I wanted, it fits, so I'm not completely changing the subject here, but one of the things I really liked from the Action Surge about the whole Radiant thing was the discussion about Radiant choosing to share this information, and how it marks like a turning point in his character, because like there's a lot he hides, but he also shares things when he feels like it's not narratively satisfying, but relevant to everybody's needs.
Yeah, not just personal.
Because it's selfish because he doesn't want to be the only one who knows this, but also he should be telling them because it's relevant to them. But I think what was most important, and this is what Harry talked about, was the fact that not only did he want the party to know this, he wanted the monks to know this. And so he wrote down what all the letters were, so that they would be able to translate it and do the whole thing, because this is important. This is going to be important to where their faith goes, number one, but also like they were kind enough to share that with him in the hopes that he could read it. And so he's kind enough to make sure that they can read all of it. And I think that that's a really cool, like it's one thing to share it with the party and to finally let them into like what you're thinking and what you know, because the Eladrin thing he kept to himself. All of his dreams until recently he kept to himself. And as they're becoming relevant to the party, it's like, I should probably share this. This benefits all of us, or at least like, it makes me feel better to share this. That's the selfish part. It will make me feel better to do this. But it was the fact that he shared it with the monks that I think shows how much he's grown in that aspect, because he doesn't know these people. Like he had this one aspect where he was like, he almost got kind of adversarial with Magnus. Like, what do you want me? What you think this is me? What do you want me to say? And it's like, now here he is being shown these letters, and they're monumental, huge deal stuff. And the first thing he does is like, let me show you how to read this. And it's like, damn, Radiant, okay. And like, I think that would speak to him being, because like if that's a part of him like teaching and showing, that could speak to him being a representative of like who they're taught Theon is in the Feywild, for all we know. So I just thought that was cool. I thought like for it not yet being like his time, those kind of peeks into like what he's thinking about all this and like what the Feywild could be like, and him sharing it with these people who worship the original version, like the Theon as we think she is, the real Theon, and now actually getting to know who she really is through these letters. I mean, Radiant, good on you, son.
Yep.
That's a good deed you did there. That's a
You
very good deed.
leveled up on your character arc.
Yep. He is actually changing. Like he said he wanted to change. He said he was tired of who he was being and he was scared of who he might have been. And so here he is trying to, bit by bit, figure out the person he wants to be. And that's a huge step, being like, I kept all these secrets. This could be a huge secret. I could lie. I could lie and say I can't read this. But he told the truth to strangers. And I mean, and Twinkle too. Like he explained how he felt to Twinkle. Like that's a big deal. He just changed everything for these monks. The unknown letters are now known because Radiant decided to show them how to read them. It's so cool. It's really cool.
I mean, to be fair, they said a lot to Magnus, considering they only just met him. Like, I know he was like
Yeah, they
vouched for
did.
by Lovac, but they were like, so
Well,
we're going
it's
to
because
Laffy.
Lovac's a hottie, and if the hottie trusts this guy, they could trust him too.
They'd better hope he's not Yilda.
Yeah. Oh. I'd love it if yeah, just come back to me, and then you come back to the temple, it's on fire. It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
for God's sake, is this?
Oh, the map is
Him
gone
again.
because Radiant didn't think to take it with him.
Yep. Harry did a joke that
Oh no.
Yilda was about.
Yeah.
I
I guess the other I'll mention one bit first, and then this like that greater bit. There's a lot of stuff happening in this episode. We now know what the different areas are called in the city. So you've got the Nowerings, the cloth fields, the bows, the holdings. So they're the four main areas, and then
It's parts of a tree.
yeah,
They all reference parts of a tree, which is very cool.
and then each area has their own elder. There's like elders that instead of the city being run like Baroon, which is like a council and stuff, this is run more in like traditional kind of village sense of like you have an elder and then there's
The
like
biggest
different positions.
partiers from every neighborhood.
So the Nowerings have Clutterbuck, who has I love that out of everyone, Aoife was immediately like, we need to have a look at how like the workers' compensation works in Reliquier, because Clutterbuck had a sling and then was carrying a tray of drinks, and Aoife was immediately like, hold on, this is wrong, we need to get unions into this place. And then the cloth fields was Heaton, the bows was Fig, the holdings was Umberley, and then there's the overall, the what they classed as, what is it, the Royal London Mayor?
Celebrant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is the
Celebrant.
Celebrant, which is Borealis.
The biggest partier.
Yeah.
It felt like a bit like a sort of student body kind of thing. Like you've got like
Yeah.
you got like the class president and like it's just jocks and drunks. They're Riz lords
They are Riz Lords.
and ladies, Riz ladies.
But yes,
Rizzlers.
they decided that they were
Rizzlers.
going to help the Clutterbuck from the Nowerings
Riz people.
and represent their team in the run. But the other thing we kind of discovered throughout all this is the Malays. The Malays of
Funk.
Taliska. Yeah, the supernatural funk.
Funky vibes.
Which I only noticed this because of the rewatch, because I thought everything started to go to hell after they left the temple. But what I didn't realise is Harry planted the seeds early, because as Lennox, the one that was in the carriage with Dolly, walked off, he said Lennox's behaviour changed and their shoulders slumped as they walked from the carriage to their house. So it was happening before they went to the temple. Because I know some people's theories were that because they spoke to Magnus and got Magnus to essentially leave the temple, that had some of the effect on it and stuff.
Yeah. Or that they had changed, that he has some power that yeah.
So yeah, my theory on the Malays, whether it'll be true or not, is because the temple has a magical connection, like the Old Dark had basically like a magical font essentially that could connect to other places, and because this is the city of the true city of Phalon, I think the temple is where it's radiating from, and I think it has a connection to the Feywild. And because the Spider Prince is allegedly, according to the Spinner, currently in the Feywild wrecking stuff, I think the negative energy from the Feywild is bleeding into Taliska through this temple, and that's what's causing
Just like
everybody's
the
general
Wooder.
noise. Yeah,
Just like the Blue Wooder.
yeah. So that's my theory, is that this is like almost like like a water ripple effect from the Feywild that's affecting Reliquiae.
A wave, a gloomy wave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
All right, guys. I think it's time, unless we have anything that is supremely important.
We didn't talk about the spinner's message, which is in your notes. I can see them.
You're not special. You're disposable.
Yeah, we finally heard back from the spinner on as to the question of
Solid.
why the party.
Replying to the drunk text.
in the
Yep.
DMs.
The spinner chose violence.
Of all the flies, you were the ones least loved, least cared for, least missed. You were already dead. That was truncated because I was trying to keep up, but that's the most important parts. Basically, to the world, they were no one.
But look at them now.
Now they're everyone.
So,
Because you're everywhere to
I
me.
think
or you're
that
every
is a
woman.
substantial
Lie.
misdirection, but we will see.
I think he's put a huge bet on the Holdings winning the boat race.
Yeah.
He's trying to throw.
He's trying to put them down, get them in the malaise.
He wanted to make that spread. He wanted to get another couple points on.
He has a parlay.
He has a parlay. Exactly. All right. Let's talk 46 predictions and then close out. Shannon.
This one's hard for me to say.
Number of words.
Oh,
Oh,
number of
yeah.
words. I'm going to go with... I feel like the run's too easy. I'm going with 4.
4.
Yeah, I'm going to
All
go
right,
for
I'm
I
going
feel
back
like
to
it's,
my-
I feel like the run is too easy.
I'm going back to my we have not done this before. I'm going to go 6.
Okay.
Jazzy.
So I'm going with 5 on the basis that it'll be the run and the blank. So
Mm.
5.
The run and the... Okay. Got it. Kenneth.
The run and the walk. Just kidding.
The run and
gonna
the walk.
Run and the Riz.
I'm
Run
going.
in the
I'm
wrist.
going.
The wrist.
I'm going big or going home. I'm gonna go for 7.
7. Wow. Okay. Anyone got a spicy prediction they want to start out with here?
Yeah, I'll go.
Shannon?
This one's a doozy. I think they don't win the race, but they win the city's hearts.
The power of friendship.
The raw underdog energy. I also think, because I
Go on.
kind of said this earlier. I feel like maybe we'll get dreams from both Elowen and Radiant.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have a double wisdom saving throw. Might as well. We're in Taliska. When in Taliska, have
Go
some
big or go
dreams
home.
about your blonde baddie.
What your dream in Taliska stays in Taliska.
Yep. Jazzy, I
Unless
feel
you're
like
radiant.
you've been predicting for like almost a week solid at this point. So you've got to have something up your sleeve.
Who, me?
You. Yes,
Me.
you.
Okay, me. Okay. I'd have a few here, but we'll go with this one. So the deck of many friends is used during the run.
Okay.
Ooh. It's been a
Radiant,
while.
you dumb. I want to use a word there, but I won't.
I
Troy
am
Baker will.
actually really surprised that Ben didn't pull it when he failed the whiz save in the...
Yeah. I guess he feels the same way I do, where it's like, it'd be great if I got it, but if I don't, there's going to definitely be a better chance.
There'll be another opportunity. Right? It's
Yeah.
not life or death, right? Yep.
I'm missing a
Kenneth, you ready or...
Yeah. I knew what mine was, but Jazzy's kind of ties in perfectly with mine.
Thank you.
It won't be part of my prediction, the extra bit, but I'll say it anyway. So I think somebody's going to die during the run. Because the rules are specifically that you can only hamper other party members, you can't kill anyone. and I think somebody's going to die because of the party's actions. My assumption is Elowen, under her dream/funk bloodlust, will just accidentally murder somebody and not realize. But I think somebody's going to die by accident. But my continuation from that is, what if a card does get drawn, it's the Troy Baker card, and that accidentally murders an entire ship?
Ooh.
If Radiant pulls a card to make sure like one of the other boats like fails a check, and then Troy Baker gets pulled, and then that causes infinite doom.
I mean, I almost went with Marcus dies, so it could be Troy Baker's. That could be Troy Baker's.
So
job.
I'm gonna double down on your guys.
Oh, I
The
love
deck
this.
is used, and I'm gonna say that KC's card gets drawn.
Ooh.
Ah, that'd be so good.
I've been looking forward to that one.
Do you know, that'd be a perfect time to get
Ever
Casey
since
back as
he
well.
handed
for an
me
episode.
that card to give to Holly as a secret message, and I told him I wouldn't look, and I kept my promise, I have wanted to see it. It was in my hand. I am curious.
You've
I'm
touched
not
it.
in trouble. Like, I forget what the word is. Like, I'm curious, but I never like push. Like, I've talked about this with Doc before, because, you know, things. And I'll be like, I'm always going to be curious, but I'm never going to push my luck. I never ask. I just let the curiosity live, or die, as it were, like a cat.
Poor cat.
It's called being an adult and knowing yourself. You shouldn't be too nosy, gang. It's good to not be nosy. It's nice to be pleasantly surprised by life, or not pleasantly surprised sometimes.
It is true. It is true.
I've always
Right.
been very not curious.
I
Like,
think
yes,
we've got. You've always been very not curious. We've
yeah,
lost
you know,
Kenneth.
I always hear people gossiping at work or stuff, like someone's in trouble. Not at my job, but at my old job. And I would just keep walking. I'd be like, not my business. Not my business. I don't need to know that.
I just remembered I didn't have any dice on me, so I had to run and quickly.
Oh yeah,
grab
I
some.
was organizing my die for the
Disaster.
my dice for the Roly Police.
All right. Let's get this spoiler silliness down.
Goodbye, spoliers.
See you next time.
I think it's gonna have been like a 6-hour episode because
We've
so much
had
happened in this
2.
episode.
We've had 2 hours of them being up. Jazzy will.
we had a lot.
They
We had a
can go
lot of
down
good
for a
stuff to
bit.
talk about.
They need a rest.
Oh, my D6 fell.
Mop Up. Harry tells us that he's trying to catch up. So he said he's going to do a back-to-back-to-back with 47. We'll see.
I really wish that cult would give him some more free time.
Oh, I know. It's
to watch
terrible.
Episodes.
It's terrible. Any other business? Anything else we need to worry about?
Nobody took out their mops. You said mop
Well,
up, and nobody did it. I grabbed my spoon as soon as you said mop up.
I dropped my D6.
Yeah, that's true. You were getting your D6 off.
Well, I haven't
Just-
got it yet.
Don't step on your D4.
Well, ow, my D4. Yeah.
Don't eat them either.
Oh man.
I remember
Every
when that happened
ti-
to Alex. Where the,
Every time Alex puts them in his mouth, I'm like,
You're
dude,
gonna hurt yourself.
just don't, man. Just don't. I did use, well, I didn't. My daughter used the vial bath bomb, and that is chef's kiss. That one.
One day I'll get to foot bathing that one too.
It is excellent. Can recommend. Are you set, Jesse?
I've undropped my D6.
Excellent.
Good job.
Good. Recovered. Shall we roll these some poly?
Yes.
Let's do it.
I got my dice out. I got my dice tray out. Ow. I'm ready to go.
I gotta get my dice out.
Tray with an E. Your dice tray.
Yes. I was so excited when Harry said that's how it was spelled, because I was like, that's how I assumed it was spelled. And so I was going to be right if Holly wasn't sure my notes would be correct. I also forgot Holly told me that she's like weeks ahead on the notes. So she probably wasn't going to need my notes, but I still felt good about it.
With how many episodes they are ahead, I think she's had time to.
Yeah. It's
Do
nice
that.
though. It's nice to kind of get a little break from like worrying about all the timestamps because I
So
can
while
never
we're
see them
about
anyway.
ready to roly some poly here, I think Jazzy, you've kind of let the cat out of the bag with this and what you would like, but what system would you guys like to see them play? I mean, you said Cyberpunk. Would you go with Cyberpunk, Jazzy, or would you
Oh
like
yeah,
to see them?
definitely
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Kenneth?
Oh, I'd love to see them play Blades because Blades is just such a fun system to just have some hijinks happen. So I'd
Yep.
really like to see them do some Blades at some point.
The flashback mechanic in that is great.
So good, yeah.
I just want them to have a good time because I don't know any. You know what? Play The Expanse.
Oh,
I
that
I
is a good
actually
one.
have
Good
that.
choice.
I've never gotten to play it. I have all the materials because I was a Kickstarter backer. I have like all the dice sets. I'd love to play it, but like I'd have to learn more about it. And I'd love to play. I would like for them to play The Expanse. I think that would be fun because that's a game I'm slightly familiar with.
All right. Roly poly scores. I have 87. Shannon.
93.
Woo!
Finally, a decent score. I rolled a 70 on the
No
percentile.
wee. All woo.
Mm-hmm.
Jazzy.
I got an 80. 0. I got 80.
You got 800.
Okay.
800.
I got 800.
Vote for the game.
Mute, I'm like, where is he going with that?
You put the
80?
cheat code in, didn't you?
Yeah, it's that D6 you see.
Yeah.
Which only rolled a 2 actually.
Well, if you roll it like half a dozen times, then it's amazing what happens, right?
Right.
Kenneth, to finish us off.
I got 116.
One day I'll
Ooh.
win.
I finally got a roll over 100 for the first time in a long, long time.
Excellent.
The last time, long
Yeah.
time.
Last
Probably.
time.
Last time. Wake up, sluts. It's
Time to sin.
I sent that clip to
Time to
people
sin.
when I made that my soundboard, and they were like, "This is hilarious." Like this poor man is just trying to start the episode, trying to start his recap.
Yep. He's just trying to play some D&D. He's got these clowns around him. All right. Let's do some shoutouts here, guys.
I rolled a 10.
Roll your D20s. Let's see what our initiative is here.
Same as I got on the roly-poly roll on my 20.
80.
I got 80. I got, no, 800. 800 on the initiative.
80,
Amazing.
80 on your D20.
Crazy.
I got 13. I got 13.
13.
That's almost as good as 9 on the D6 from DrKagon.
Which I actually was thinking about making. I don't know if you guys remember the memes I used to make with the Barbie font. I'm gonna make a Bertine, and then I might make it a sticker or something. Give it to the cast slash
That'd be cool.
Benjamin.
Excellent.
13.
10
How
for
easy.
me. Jazzy, you get what?
I got a 7.
7. Okay. Kenneth?
19. I'm absolutely
Ooh.
crushing this episode.
Ooh.
Crushing it.
Disgusting.
Crushing it. Shannon.
I got 10.
Roll off then.
Oh, that's right.
Hang on, which one of you has the
already-
highest dex mod?
I mean, Shan's been
don't
shoveling a lot
know.
of snow, so I think Shan.
Yeah. But she's
Daisy,
tired
watch
though.
out.
Oh, that's true.
She's got fatigue.
Disadvantage.
Rolled a 2.
Oh.
2.
Three. Oh.
Damn. That a reference to one of my favorite Natural 6 memes. My little skull boy, do me, okay? It's a 4. Can I roll it again? It's a 3. Can I roll it again with advantage? No, you can't. It's a 3.
Yeah. Yay.
I think about that animation all the time.
All right. Well, we'll have Shannon close us out then. Kenneth, commence.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you again, Doc and Shan, for having me on the podcast. It's always a pleasure. I don't get to do it that often because I have other commitments on a Tuesday normally, but the stars aligned this time. And the fact that it's me and Jazzy both on, the spoiler prince and the spoiler pauper / spreadsheet guy, I feel like it was a good combination. So yeah, thanks guys. Shout out to Greedfall 2. I muchly await that game. Shout out to Resident Evil 9 as well. Despite the fact that I'm a fake Resident Evil fan now, I've finally been rumbled.
You're our fake.
I know, terrible. So yeah, really looking forward to those 2 games. I will be doing a new D&D thing soon to go with all the other D&D things, and a friend of mine's running a kind of like Suicide Squad Monsters playthrough, and I'm gonna try and play a Kitsune kind of like spirit / fox spirit character. And I'm going to use the book that Alex has used for some of his spells, the Obajima book, because there's the Bard which uses masks, and it's completely coded into the whole kind of like Japanese, Korean sort of vibe. So I'm going to be using that, which is really exciting.
Sweet.
And I guess last shout out, because I forgot to do this last time I was on. I got a couple things from MCM in October. I got a deck of magic items from Danielle. And I got a deck of many things from Roll Gothica. So I've got like a couple cards. I've actually used this for my campaign. Rather than trying to find items in the book, I've just gone, we'll draw a card, and whatever that card is, you get that magical item. So it's been really fun to like have something like a physical prop as well. A bit like the deck of many friends when it goes, stop when you want me to draw that card. So it's been like a cool little... I have to put no thought into magical items. It's just what the deck will give you. So yeah, shout out to those 2 for giving me some sweet D&D merch.
Excellent. Cool. Well, thank you both, Kenneth and Jazzy, for joining us. Shan as well, for the help, love, and assistance, and great canine vibes.
I really don't do much anything, but thanks.
I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't think so. I'm looking forward to the next episode. A few days away. All good. I think that's me. Thanks again, guys, for getting us to episode 25
For the podcast.
Jazzy.
Okay, so first of all, shout out to the 3 of you. Thank you for having me on, putting up with me, as always. Thank you, Shan and Doc, for the podcast. It's reached Silver Jubilee, Sylvie Jubes.
Just like the Queen once did.
Just like the Queen, yes. Exactly. The spirit of 77 is here once more. And shout out to you, Kenneth, as well for making the stars align to be here today. I know it's not easy on a Tuesday, like with the watch party. Shout out to Martina for her amazing fan art. Absolutely love that, and particularly like the stuff from the last episode and the T-shirt. It's just wonderful. Shout out to Lego, which was very enjoyable yesterday on my me day. Shout out to just having time to enjoy being, in this busy world. It's just great to have a day of just enjoying being. And a shout out to those of you listening, those of you watching. Please like, subscribe, and all the other stuff that they say. And that's...
Unfortunately, you will be the subscriber, the next one, who takes off of 69 subs. So,
Damn.
No one subscribed
Yeah, we're locked in
for
now.
the women.
excellent, Jesse.
Either that, or we have to go from 69 to 690 just to keep the trend alive.
Or
Or
169.
6,969. Yeah.
Or that.
What else will be good? Yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy the little things, Jesse.
Oh, I do.
Always. Always. Shannon, take us home.
Yeah, sure. Shout out to you guys, all three is. To Doc for doing everything. And then to you guys for coming and joining us on such a busy Tuesday. Shout out to Leon Kennedy's arms and back. If you know, you know.
For the Kennedy.
For the women, which, fun fact, like, apparently Capcom's female staff was very involved in making sure his design was going to appeal to the most people possible. For the Capcom women, thank you. Thank you.
Have you played the mod yet?
Which one?
The shirtless mod.
No, I haven't played 4 yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, I have, but like I haven't played it since the last time. But there's already a Resident Evil 9 mod for it, so I might put him in that because that compression shirt does wonders. Those arms, you're in your 50s. What is the routine? Yeah. So thank you, Leon Kennedy. You're back in arms. Thank you, Capcom women. Shout out to my Final Fantasy 14 friends who have been listening to me talk about me finally playing Endwalker and like all the revelations and all the dots I'm connecting. Shout out to this past episode for further convincing me that I'm right. And as always, but that Rizzlord theory is real. I'm feeling very confident right now, and I'm sure that's going to go great for all of us. Shout out to this jersey. I think I look great in it. I think I always look great in a hockey jersey, and I've always wanted one, and now I have one. I think it was well worth it. Shout out to the Flyers for designing a jersey you haven't changed in decades that is very flattering to me. Shout out to the weather. You can decide if that's good or not. And shout out to the mod staff. My fellow mods. They're working hard all the time. Working hard today, in fact. Shout out to them. I hope they have good days. And if they aren't having good days, I hope they have better ones. Because they rock. And I'm learning a lot. And shout out to my dogs. Who really were on one today. I was trying to get a manual from Daisy at one point, which is why I muted myself to try and get it from her, and she looked me dead in the eye as she ripped it up. So shout out to my dogs.
Grr.
No pork rolls for
Can't let
them.
me know
No.
a moment of peace.
Definitely no pork rolls.
And shout out to Taylor Ham, or Pork Roll, the Taylor Meat Corporation. I want pork roll now.
I feel like
do love that there's
some
multiple things we could argue about, but that's the one that
Chorizo
really
might be
stuck.
in your future, Jesse.
I love chorizo.
Oh,
It's like a better
I
pork
have
roll.
that too. I have chorizo upstairs as well, but it's frozen, so I'd have to like leave it out.
shout out to pigs.
Shout out to
Shout out to
all
pigs.
forms of sausage.
Well,
That's for you, Mark.
I was going to say for the sausage.
for the sausage. In the
There
bun
you
or
go.
not?
My friend just mentioned
Spoilers.
UK traders in the group chat in my chat. She said an Irish contestant used the contraption amped. I can't wait to watch more Traitors. I can't wait to learn new contractions from my distant cousins.
Excellent.
Amped.
Right. Thank you very much for listening or watching wherever you are. Enjoy the next Natural Six episode. Subscribe to the Patreon if you haven't already. And we're out. Bye.